Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. More children, more blessings, start with the 9 Nether Empress. Chapter 121. After having fun with all the concubines, all the previous bad moods were completely gone. Our Emperor Yuan is also satisfied. At this time, in the palace in the secret realm of nothingness, Dongfang Yuan was lying on the bed, with Su Baiji and Qian Shinru wearing pink gauze beside him, leaning lightly on his shoulders. There was a big war not long ago. Medusa was also lying next to her at the moment, too tired to want to get up. Xiao Qingli and Han Wanxiang were already wearing long skirts and sitting on chairs in the hall to rest. My beloved, is your mouth still sore? Dongfang Yuan looked at Xiao Qingli and smiled playfully. Xiao Qingli couldn't help but roll her eyes at him. What do you think? Hey, I will be more careful next time. Dongfang Yuan smiled lightly. Xiao Qingli also turned away and adjusted her aura. These days, she followed Dongfang Yuan to experience a different lifestyle, and her cultivation seemed to have improved again. There are only 3 days left until the wedding day. Your Majesty, what are you going to do next? At this time, Su Baiji's slender fingers gently drew circles on Dongfang Yuan's chest, and asked a little tiredly. Dongfang Yuan grabbed her hand, held her face with his hand, kissed Su Baiji's cherry mouth deeply, and was slightly satisfied. Dongfang Yuan also said casually, just follow the normal plan. Fei Peng and the others have probably reached the open sea, and they should be about to take action next. The open sea at this time. Inside Tianshui Pavilion. Pavilion Master Yi Shangyuan and Great Elder Dongyuan are still talking about things at this moment. Suddenly, as the second elder, Nan An's expression changed hurriedly and he hurried in. Oh no, Pavilion Master, something big happened. Nan An's face was extremely flustered, and Yi Shangyuan couldn't help but frown. Second elder, what's going on? What happened? Dongyuan asked immediately when he saw this. Pavilion Master, Great Elder. Our spies stationed in Bihai Pavilion received news that a strong man led people to attack Bihai Pavilion. The master of Bihai Pavilion was killed on the spot because he would rather die than surrender. Now, in the entire Bihai Pavilion, except for the disciples and elders who surrendered, all other high-level officials have been killed. Nan An reported with a pale face. What? The master of Bihai Pavilion is dead. When Yi Shangyuan and Dongyuan heard this, they felt restless for a moment. Bihai Pavilion and Tianshui Pavilion are the most powerful forces in the outer sea. Someone actually attacked Bihai Pavilion. Can Tianshui Pavilion escape this disaster? While Dongyuan and Yi Shangyuan were deep in thought, an elder from Tianshui Pavilion hurriedly ran in with a face as pale as paper. Pavilion Master, it's not good. Someone attacked our Tianshui Pavilion. Now we are surrounded. The elder's expression changed greatly and he said hurriedly. What? Walk. Dongyuan and Yi Shangyuan were also shocked. Without any time to think, they all rushed out of the palace to see what was going on outside. Yi Shangyuan, Dongyuan and others left the main hall and came to the square of Tianshui Pavilion. I found that the surrounding sky was surrounded by Heavenly Evolution Dynasty's army. And there are more than a dozen God Slayer guards, golden armored guards, these great saint realms standing in front of the team. Their aura is overwhelming. Those disciples of Tianshui Pavilion all retreated with the elders, and they all stood guard on the square at the moment, with worried and dignified faces. The people of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty completely crushed Tianshui Pavilion in terms of the momentum and number of Saint Realm powerhouses. It's not a level at all. At this time, Yi Shangyuan's gaze became extremely serious. I don't know what kind of power it is. Come to my Tianshui Pavilion. What exactly do you want to do? Yi Shangyuan's voice spread to the surrounding sky, wanting to confront the leader. At this time, those golden armored guards also gave way one after another. Tai Poyan also had General Fei Peng, including Fang Qian, the deputy head of the Tiandi Pavilion. The figures of the three flew to the front. Fang Qian was the first to smile lightly and said, Master Yi, it's a pleasure to meet you. You are Fang Qian. Fang Qian, you Heaven and Earth Pavilion, what does this mean? Yi Shangyuan didn't know Fang Qian, and the two of them were not in the same rank. But as the great elder in Dongyuan, he naturally met Fang Qian. Including General Fei Peng standing next to him at the moment, remembering that he was from Dongfang Yuan when Yantian Pavilion invaded Tiandi Pavilion. As for the identity of Dongfang Yuan, they have not yet investigated. But looking at their appearance today, it is obvious that the comers are not good. Elder Dongyuan, I don't mean anything. My Tianshi Pavilion is just a helper this time. Let me introduce you. This one is the dominant force of the northern domain, the General Fei Peng of the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. This one is Heavenly Evolution Dynasty's Marshal of Soldiers and Horses, Marshal Tai Poyan Tai. These are all the elite soldiers of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. As for where we came from, it's also very simple. His Majesty Yuan Wang of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty intends to unify the sea area, and as the representative force of the outer sea, you, Tianshui Pavilion, are naturally the first to bear the brunt. It's time to express your gratitude. Fang Qian said calmly at this time. Northern Domain Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. Emperor Yuan, you are actually a force from the Northern Domain. No wonder we have been searching for so long and there are no clues at all. It turns out that you are not a force in the sea area. At this time, Dong Yuan fully understood why he could not investigate the identity of Emperor Yuan. He did not expect that they turned out to be a force from the Northern Domain. Snort. For a Northern Domain force to want to get involved in the sea, it would be too whimsical, right? At this time, Yi Shangyuan couldn't help but sneer. In his impression, the Northern Domain is a remote place with few resources. They all look down upon it, let alone the power there. Even though Heavenly Evolution Dynasty dominated the Northern Domain, it was hard for them to catch their eye. 30 years to the east of Hedong, 30 years to the west of Hexi. The Northern Domain today is very different from before. Master Yi Pavilion, I don't want to waste time. There are still many things waiting for me to do. I only give you one chance to choose. First, surrender to us and become our vassal force. Second, just like the master of Bihai Pavilion, those who stubbornly resist will disappear from this world. Tai Poyan shouted directly. He is the leader of the 3 armies of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty and the commander-in-chief of the day. The domineering power he displayed at this moment all came from the powerful foundation of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty and the undefeated myth of His Majesty Yuan Huang. What? The ones who suppressed Bihai Pavilion turned out to be you. How can you? Yi Shangyuan was terrified and even more puzzled. How could a Northern Domain force create waves in the sea? But just when he felt puzzled, he was halfway talking. He, Dongyuan, Nanan, these senior executives of Tianshui Pavilion. They all felt an extremely terrifying aura coming from above the Tianling cap and crushing their heels. Holy Saint King Realm Powerhouse, Dong Yuan said in a terrified voice. Several people's eyes turned to the opposite side, General Feipeng, who did not express his position in words. And the atmosphere of the Saint King that they felt was emanating from Fei Peng. Fei Peng didn't talk much, and he was too lazy to talk nonsense. Suppressing the warning with absolute aura is currently the easiest way. If Yi Shangyuan still resists and refuses like this, then they are courting their own death. According to Dongfang Yuan's order, they divided their forces into 2 groups, and first took down the 2 most powerful forces, Bihai Pavilion and Tianshui Pavilion. Then the other forces that follow are much simpler. Chonglo and Arrow God have already captured Bihai Pavilion, and the owner of Bihai Pavilion resisted stubbornly. After being directly killed by Zonglo, he planned to support a puppet to take control of Bihai Pavilion. If Yi Shangyuan wanted to die, he could use the same method. At this time, Yi Shangyuan, Dong Yuan and others, including those disciples and elders of Tianshui Pavilion, after they felt the destructive power of the Saint King on Fei Peng. The fighting spirit in almost everyone's heart is nothing, completely lost. Fear, panic, bewilderment and other emotions filled their hearts at this moment. Yi Shangyuan and the others were also terrified and confused. A strong Saint King. This flying general is actually a strong Saint King. That is to say, there is actually a strong Saint King in the Northern Domain forces now. What are you kidding? Is this the Northern Domain they are familiar with? Yi Shangyuan was terrified in his heart, and his mind was completely confused at the moment. Lord of the Night Pavilion. If you don't make a choice again, this commander will order to do it. At that time, please don't say that I, Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, never gave you a chance. At this moment, Tai Poyan continued to pressure him even more. Yi Shangyuan couldn't help but glanced around, and found that the elders and most of the disciples in Tianshui Pavilion had more eyes hoping that he could obey. Surrender to the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. No one wants to die after all. Once it starts, it's a meaningless battle. With Fei Peng, a Saint King powerhouse, what do they use to fight? It's almost the same if you take your life and send it up. Seeing this, Yi Shangyuan sighed deeply, and said in resignation, "Okay, I am Tianshui Pavilion, and I am willing to surrender." There is a saying in the ancients, those who know the current affairs are the heroes. Master Yi, if you recall the decision you made today, I believe you will never regret it. Tai Poyan nodded in satisfaction, and General Fei Peng also slowly put away his aura. I hope. Yi Shangyuan sighed helplessly. In the end, Tai Poyan also administered a special elixir refined by Dan Chen to the entire Tianshui Pavilion's senior management. As long as they take it, they must take a relief pill within 5 years, otherwise their lives will be lost. In this way, the lives of all of them are in the hands of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. After successfully defeating the two most powerful forces in the Outer Sea, Fei Peng, Tai Poyan, Arrow God, and Chonglo, with the cooperation of Tiandi Pavilion, carried out a sweeping sweep of other forces in the Outer Sea. 2 days later, it was also the last day before the wedding day. In the realm of nothingness, Dongfang Yuan, with Qian Shinru, whose stomach has protruded significantly, is basking in the sun and fishing casually. The little white tiger on the side stood not far away, with its hind legs kicked up, like a white cat, pointing at the two ice spirit white dragons. The two ice spirit white dragons were suppressed by the white tiger because of their bloodlines, and the difference in realm was even greater. So the scene at this time is also extremely funny. Two adult ice spirit white dragons were actually being pointed at by a baby white tiger. But the two dragons still couldn't fight back when they were beaten, and they didn't even dare to fight back when they scolded them. They were so wrong. Yi, the little white tiger babbled and preached, and the two ice spirits, Bai Lin, only dared to nod their heads in agreement all the time, not daring to object at all. Dongfang Yuan was lying on a chair, fishing with a fishing rod in his hand, while Qian Shinru was sitting next to him, feeding him fruits. Su Baiji, Han Wanxiang, and Medusa were roasting the meat of the spirit beast on the side, and the charcoal fire was slowly roasting, which was taught by Dongfang Yuan. It was quite interesting for the girls to bake the best ingredients in the simplest way. Looking at this picture, Qian Shinru felt extremely warm in her heart. Your Majesty, this kind of life is really good. When the time comes we have another bunch of kids and let White Tiger play with them. Living this life every day, enjoying the fun of life, is so happy. Qian Shinru felt more and more in her heart that this kind of life was the life she yearned for. Dongfang Yuan slowly opened his eyes, and said with a smile, Fei, this kind of life is really enjoyable, but we still need to add some seasonings to make life more interesting. Otherwise, it's the same life every day. After a long time, I will get tired of it. And there is the most important point, that is strength. Only by possessing absolute strength and not being afraid of anyone in this world, can one enjoy the fun of life forever. Dongfang Yuan is taking a break from his busy schedule at the moment, enjoying the happy time. He couldn't help but think back to his dream in his previous life. That is to earn enough money, buy an overseas island, and ask a group of beauties in bikinis to play beach games with him every day. Living in seclusion, beauties, barbecue, drinking, the combination of these 4 things, in the previous life, is the real winner in life. But at this moment, he is almost the same. Seeing Qian Shinru and Han Wanxiang's belly getting bigger day by day, he is also looking forward to what kind of reward the system will give him after his child is born. Xiaobai, the roast leg of lamb is ready. Not yet. At this time, Medusa shouted towards the little white tiger. Babble, Yi. Little white tiger's eyes lit up, and after smelling the smell of roasted leg of lamb, he flashed in front of Medusa excitedly. After taking the leg of lamb, I ate it on the spot. Your Majesty, the meat is ready. Come, my concubine feeds you. At this moment, Su Baiji came over with a plate of barbecue, stood beside Dongfang Yuan, and fed him the barbecue. Dongfang Yuan's left hand touched Su Baiji's beautiful legs, and his right hand held a fishing rod and was able to wrap his arms around Qian Shinru's waist. It's really wonderful to enjoy the two women's barbecue and fruit feeding each other. Stare. Congratulations to the host, General Fei Peng and others, successfully unified the sea area and the sea, and the prestige value increased by 25,000 points. System. Now the prestige value of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty has reached 45,320. System. Obtain a prestige value super gift package, a prestige value achievement reward mixed gift package, which has been sent to the warehouse. Please pay attention to check it. At this time, the system's voice suddenly sounded in Dongfang Yuan's mind. He was so excited that he sat up straight. 25,000 prestige points, why high is so valuable? This increase in prestige was beyond Dongfang Yuan's own expectations. I didn't expect that so many were added, and looking at it like this, once the system's gift package is opened, the contents inside are absolutely valuable. Your Majesty, what's wrong with you? Dongfang Yuan was still chewing barbecue meat when he suddenly sat up, which made Qian Xinru and Su Baiji feel confused. Fine, my beloved concubine, you go and eat first. The emperor has some things to do. As soon as he finished speaking, Dongfang Yuan's figure disappeared directly. The next moment, he appeared in his bedroom. The secret realm of nothingness is his world, where he can move to any place instantly. System. Open 2 big gift packages. Dongfang Yuan didn't hesitate and said directly. System. Stare. 2 big gift packages are opening. System. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the chance to upgrade to the epic level of Chenkin Thorn X1, the system summoned character advanced enhancement X5, the number of upgrades for all members X5, the unlimited cultivation level improvement card X10, the Saint Emperor Realm cultivation level improvement card X10. System. All have been distributed to the host warehouse, please check carefully. With the appearance of the system sound, Dongfang Yuan also found these rewards in the warehouse of his mind. System. Open the introduction. Dongfang Yuan had a headache. This time, the system's rewards are something different from before. Dongfang Yuan doesn't know what the Chenkin Thorn's epic level enhancements, advanced character enhancements, etc. are for. He did know the other two. He had used the cards for all member promotions and unlimited cultivation upgrades last time. Epic upgrade opportunity for the Chenkin Thorn. You can restore the level of the Chenkin Thorn once, at least to restore it to the quality of an immortal warrior. Advanced enhancement of system summoned characters. When used alone, it can enhance 3 small realms at once. Only characters summoned by the system can be used. Saint Emperor Realm Cultivation Improvement Card. It can be used below Saint Emperor Realm. It can make people of any realm reach the first level of Saint Emperor Realm in an instant without any side effects. After this introduction to the system, Dongfang Yuan's mind went numb. Instantly promoted to the Saint Emperor Realm. If I'm not invincible, who is invincible? Sure enough, cheating is good. Life, ultimate enjoyment. At this moment, Dongfang Yuan was also glad that he had transmigrated. Otherwise, you won't realize how lonely it is to be invincible. Huh, isn't it right, Tongzi? What the hell is the immortal warrior? If the sacred weapon goes up, shouldn't it be the imperial weapon? At this time, after Dongfang Yuan got excited, he suddenly noticed some problems. Immortal soldier, why has he never heard of this word? System. Host, you are too ignorant. System. As a weapon close to the ceiling in this world, the imperial weapon, how could it be only under the sacred weapon? Dongfang Yuan's face twitched. What about Chaos Clock? Didn't you say that one who is at the peak of the Saint Emperor realm can use Chaos Clock? System. Host, when you reach the peak of Saint Emperor realm, you can indeed use Chaos Clock, but the power you can use is only 1/10,000th of the total power of Chaos Clock. System. If an imperial weapon completely explodes with all its power, let alone Xuanzhou, the entire extreme heaven world will be annihilated in an instant, everything will be destroyed, and there will be no bones left. Listening to the system's words, Dongfang Yuan became cautious. Tongzi, tell me honestly, the Saint Emperor realm is far from the Emperor realm, how much difference is there? System. Remember it. Above the Saint Emperor realm, there is the Supreme Realm, followed by the Void Realm, the Immortal Realm, the Rebellious Fate Realm, the Heavenly Law Realm, the Destiny Realm, Quasi-Emperor, and finally the Great Emperor Realm. The level of spiritual weapon also has a fine division. Above the holy weapons are the Supreme Weapon, the immortal weapon, the destiny weapon, the divine weapon, and finally the emperor weapon. Even though Dongfang Yuan had already prepared himself, he was still a little shocked at this moment. From this point of view, the Saint Emperor realm is just a starting point. Looks like a lot of hard work. Sprint, sprint, create a few more babies, and get some big prizes. Knowing so much new knowledge has also strengthened Dongfang Yuan's belief. System, use the opportunity to upgrade the Chenkin Thorn. Let's upgrade the Chenkin Thorn first. System, in use. System, completed. Stare, Chenkin Thorn has successfully recovered to the level of high-grade immortal soldier, and the power of space has recovered 30% of its peak period. The power of space. System, what's the use of this? Dongfang Yuan asked. System, host, 30% of the space power of the Chenkin Thorn is enough to allow you to travel through the entire Xuanzhou space, and you can reach any place you want in an instant. Isn't this the portal? This Chenkin Thorn is so useful. Dongfang Yuan said excitedly. In this way, wouldn't he be able to hold the Chenkin Thorn, travel through space, and return to the northern domain or the open sea in an instant? System. Not only that, the power of the immortal soldier is more than 10,000 times stronger than before, and if the host uses it, the combat power will be several times higher than before. Dongfang Yuan spread out his palm at this time, and the Chenkin Thorn appeared in his palm. The thorn indeed exudes strong power of space, allowing him to use it as he pleases. Very good. The role of this Chenkin Thorn, for now, is only under the secret realm of nothingness for this emperor. Dongfang Yuan felt the power of space above, and then with a thought, the power of space formed a strange wave, leading Dongfang Yuan to disappear and leave. Dongfang Yuan used the Chenkin Thorn and went to the open sea. Now the outer seas have been unified by the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, and Dongfang Yuan also intends to bring Fei Peng and Tai Poyan back. Call them together first, and collectively strengthen the wave, or tomorrow at the marriage ceremony of the two ancient clans, pretend to be a force. After Dongfang Yuan came to the outer sea, he also summoned Arrow God, Fei Peng, Chong Lu, Tai Poyan, including Zhan Shenwei and Jin Jiawei. Use Chenkin Thorn to take them back to the Void Secret Realm. As for the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty army, Dongfang Yuan left a few Heavenly Evolution Dynasty officials at the Great Saint Realm level stationed in the outer sea, and did not interfere too much. Today's major forces in the open sea are all under the control of the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. Basically, there was nothing for Dongfang Yuan to worry about. Fei Peng and Tai Poyan handled things very neatly. Including those ancient races and the Holy Land, they may not know it now, but the outer sea has fallen into the hands of the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. And just after Dongfang Yuan used the power of Chenkin Thorn to bring Tai Poyan and the others back to the Void Secret territory in an instant. The few of them were extremely shocked, and they moved tens of millions of miles in an instant, only in a blink of an eye. It's simply amazing skills, not like what human beings can do. Therefore, the image of Dongfang Yuan in their hearts was somewhat mysterious. After returning to the Void Secret Realm, Dongfang Yuan immediately summoned Wan Zhanshan, White Tiger, Dan Chen and others. Including Medusa. Dongfang Yuan intends to let the characters summoned by the system be strengthened first. System, use the advanced summoning characters to strengthen, namely Fei Peng, Wan Jianshen, Dan Chen, Chong Lu, and Arrow God. Use all staff to upgrade the flight, and use all 5 opportunities. System, in use. System, use it up. Your Majesty, after Dongfang Yuan ordered it to be used, the cultivation of everyone on the field has been greatly improved. Although Medusa was not strengthened with advanced summoning characters, all members have been promoted, and her cultivation base has also achieved a huge breakthrough. Dongfang Yuan took a glance at this moment, and was very satisfied with this improvement in cultivation. Let's talk about White Tiger first. This little guy has already reached the 7th heaven of the Saint Emperor realm. Its own combat strength is estimated to be able to compete with other strong Saint Emperor realm 9th heaven grade. As for Wan Zhanshan, he directly broke through to the heaven grade, the 10th level of the Saint Emperor realm, which is the peak of the Saint Emperor realm. This level of cultivation, placed above the entire sea area, is an extremely explosive existence. On the bright side, there is no opponent. As for the Arrow God, he has also stepped into the first layer of the Saint Emperor realm, heaven grade, and his luck is not bad. Out of 5 promotion opportunities, he only guaranteed 3. Unlike White Tiger and Wang Jianshan, 5 times are guaranteed. But Danshan, Feipang, and Chongluo all have the same cultivation base, reaching the 4th heaven of the Saint Emperor realm. Medusa is now also the 4th level of the Saint Emperor realm, and her real combat power can defeat her opponent by 2 levels. Finally, it was Dongfang Yuan himself. After his cultivation had been improved 5 times, his face turned pale twice and he broke the subsistence allowance. At this moment, he directly broke through to the 7th heaven of the Saint Emperor realm. With his own powerful talent, he directly crushed the peak of the Saint Emperor realm, and there is basically no problem now. In other words, today's Dongfang Yuan does not need to use any whole cards. His talent alone is enough to crush and beat someone as strong as Wang Jianshan. And if he used the Chenkin Thorn again, it would be difficult for him to defeat him with certainty even in the ordinary supreme realm. The current power of the Chenkin Stab is no longer what it used to be. Immortal soldiers, plus the power of space, Dongfang Yuan estimates. No one below the 7th heavenly layer of the supreme realm will be his opponent. Dongfang Yuan checked the system warehouse at this time, and now, he still has the Saint Emperor Cultivation Base Promotion card and the Unlimited Cultivation Base Promotion card left unused. All 10. Dongfang Yuan thought about it. Those Saint Emperor upgrade cards can be reserved for Zuo Xuanqi and Su Baiji. In this way, his harem group can also usher in a wave of strengthening. As for Zuo Xuanqi and the others, they were not summoned by the system, and using the Saint Emperor Cultivation card can also try to make up for the gap between them. Next, there are 10 Unlimited Cultivation Base Promotion cards. This is available to anyone. System, use 2 Unlimited Cultivation Improvement cards. Dongfang Yuan thought for a while and decided to use 2 of them first. System. Completed. System, the host's cultivation level has been successfully upgraded to the 2nd level of the Supreme Realm. Dongfang Yuan opened his arms at this time, feeling like he had broken through to the Supreme State. He seemed to feel that his body had been sublimated and his soul had reached a different level. This feeling is so mysterious and wonderful that it is difficult to express it in words. All I know is that at this moment, no matter who he looks at now, he feels as if he is looking at an ant. It was as if in this huge sea area, he could set off huge waves with just a push of his finger, and the waves shook the sky. This is the supreme state, it feels so good. Dongfang Yuan did not hesitate and just spent 4 more cultivation level improvement cards. 2 are for my own use, one is the God of Swords and the other is Medusa. The cultivation of the 3 of them once again made a huge breakthrough. Dongfang Yuan worked hard and went directly to the 8th level of the Supreme Realm. As for Wan Sword God, he has reached the 3rd level of the Supreme Realm. The sword intent around him is extremely sharp. A casual sword light is enough to destroy 100,000 mountains, which is shocking to the world. And Medusa has also been promoted to the 7th level of the Saint Emperor realm, the same realm as the little white tiger. Now, Dongfang Yuan only has 4 opportunities left for unlimited cultivation improvement. Of course, he will not use it all at once. At any time, he needs to prevent accidents and be prepared. He dispersed everyone, as well as the shadow guards, god-slaying guards and golden-armored guards who collectively broke through to the 7th heaven of the Great Saint Realm. Immediately, Dongfang Yuan found Tai Poyan and Zuo Xuanqi, and used 2 Saint Emperor Realm cultivation improvement cards to help them break through to the Saint Emperor Realm. The night is getting dark, and the bright moon hangs in the sky. The bright moonlight is like a holy spiritual light, illuminating the earth. At this time, in Dongfang Yuan's bedroom. Your Majesty, are you too anxious? I have been struggling for 2 nights before. Sister Xiao almost fell out, and you are still struggling like this. No, you can go find Sister Medusa. We are still pregnant and it's really hard to do anything. In the dormitory, Han Wanxiang's coquettish voice spread. She thought that Dongfang Yuan called several of their pregnant women into a dormitory to vent their anger again. Xiao Qingli has already shut up at this time. Nothing he says tonight can be revealed again. Neither Su Baiji nor Qian Xinru wanted to be the first tonight, so they all stood back. Dongfang Yuan smiled helplessly. My dear concubine, what are you thinking about? I went too far last time. This time the sage's time has not passed yet, and now I don't feel it at all. Come here, I'm not a lion, can I still eat you? The women obviously don't believe Dongfang Yuan. A man's mouth is a liar. Besides, Your Majesty, there is no time when you didn't coax and lie. This is just one time, we sisters are tired of hearing it. Su Baiji and Qian Shinru were joking at this time. Dongfang Yuan looked helpless and said, it really isn't the case this time. I have summoned you here to help you improve your cultivation. Your Majesty, how can you help us improve our cultivation? Su Baiji was a little confused at this moment. At this time, Dongfang Yuan had a mysterious smile on his face. You guys, all stand over. Qian Shinru, Han Wanxiang and the others were not joking when they saw Dongfang Yuan, but they all came closer. And Xiao Qingli was still sitting next to him, looking over here. Dongfang Yuan did not let Xiao Qingli come with him. After all, Xiao Qingli's cultivation level was already at the Saint Emperor level. It would obviously be too wasteful to use Saint Emperor level cultivation cards to improve her. System, use the Saint Emperor level cultivation improvement card. Target, Qian Shinru, Han Wanxiang, Su Baiji. Dongfang Yuan ordered in his heart. System, using. At this moment, the three women's bodies suddenly began to glow, and then the auras on their bodies surged at an incredible speed. Feeling the changes in their bodies, the three women were extremely shocked. Your Majesty, this. The three women were shocked and confused. The aura in their bodies surged uncontrollably, and they broke through the Great Saint in an instant, and then entered the Saint King. It was not until the end that the auras of the three of them finally stopped at the first level of the Saint Emperor realm. System. Used. Your Majesty, we have broken through the Saint Emperor realm. Oh my God. Your Majesty, how on earth did you do it? How? How could this be so magical? Qian Shinru, Su Baiji and others felt incredible. Xiao Qingli sat next to him, quite calm. She was already mentally prepared. Every time Dongfang Yuan used some special methods, it was enough to refresh her knowledge of the Empress in her previous life. The three girls, Su Baiji, instantly broke through from Saint Realm to Saint Emperor Realm. It is not an exaggeration to call these methods miraculous. Dongfang Yuan smiled at this time. Now the Emperor's beloved concubines have reached the level of Saint Emperor. If placed in the sea, they are also giants who can stand alone. Tomorrow, the concubines will go to Murong Ancient Clan with me. Murong Shui, it's time to make a choice. Yes, Your Majesty. Qian Shinru and the three girls obeyed obediently. Then, each of them kissed Dongfang Yuan and left the dormitory. My dear concubine, what's wrong with your nonchalant eyes? Don't you envy Shinru and the others? At this time, Dongfang Yuan looked at Xiao Qingli with a bad smile on his face and said. Xiao Qingli looked indifferent. What's there to be envious of? I'm also in the Saint Emperor realm now, so that's nothing. Then what if I can help you to achieve another breakthrough in cultivation? Dongfang Yuan said suddenly. Really? Xiao Qingli asked a little surprised. But I have conditions. Dongfang Yuan smiled slowly. Condition? What conditions? Xiao Qingli asked puzzledly. Dongfang Yuan hooked his hand, and Xiao Qingli appeared directly in front of him, being held by him and sitting on his lap. Dongfang Yuan smiled softly into Xiao Qingli's ear and said, next time, I want my concubine to put her hands behind my neck. After Xiao Qingli heard what Dongfang Yuan said, his face suddenly went back to the root of his neck. You are shameless. Day by day, if you don't study serious things, why do you keep studying these things? Xiao Qingli wanted to stand up, but was unable to do so because she was held by Dongfang Yuan. She said in a very embarrassed tone. Who says that this emperor doesn't study serious matters? This is called a balance between work and rest. To relax, you must enjoy it to the extreme. Otherwise, you will have no motivation when doing business. Dongfang Yuan said with a wicked smile. Xiao Qingli's red face twisted slightly at this time. My beloved, are you nodding or shaking your head? I want you to say it yourself. Do you want to, or don't you want to? Dongfang Yuan smiled lightly. Xiao Qingli snorted proudly. Looking at Dongfang Yuan, he finally said helplessly, okay. I think it's okay. Snort. Dongfang Yuan smiled immediately after hearing what he said. My dear concubine, you said this yourself. I did not force you. Then next time, just do it as I taught you, the majestic 9 Nether Empress. I believe that my beloved concubine will never regret it. Dongfang Yuan smiled triumphantly, and Xiao Qingli pursed her lips, looking a little arrogant. However, Dongfang Yuan stopped joking. Based on his current relationship with Xiao Qingli, it was just a little fun between husband and wife before. How could he not help Xiao Qingli break through? After all, with Xiao Qingli's talent and strength, if she could reach a certain level, she would definitely be able to help her better than Wang Jianshen and others. He directly asked the system to use 2 unlimited cultivation improvement cards for Xiao Qingli. He directly broke through to the 7th level of the Saint Emperor realm, and his luck was extremely good. After improving the cultivation of the girls in the harem, Dongfang Yuan also began to make arrangements to participate in the marriage of the 2 ancient clans tomorrow. Today, the entire Murong coast is extremely lively. Several major cities are covered with gorgeous red carpets, and countless petals rain down from the sky. Especially Murong City, the main city of the Murong family, is decorated with lights and colorful decorations, exuding a festive atmosphere everywhere. Just because today is the day when the 2 ancient clans officially get married. Now everything has been arranged within the Murong family. There are lights and decorations everywhere in the mansion. Red lights are hung high, and there are dazzling fireworks condensed with holy power, blooming in the bright day, extremely luxurious and gorgeous, showing the grand style. There are many powerful auras in the city, and most of the pedestrians on the road are those with Saint Realm cultivation. Go to the Murong family. The conference is about to start. Don't wait until it's too late and you won't have a seat. Go. You have all heard, right? The people who attacked Profound Heaven City before have suffered heavy blows from the strong men of Murong Ancient Clan. They don't have much time left. I've heard this a long time ago. At this juncture, daring to offend Murong Ancient Clan so unscrupulously is simply seeking death. Murong Ancient Clan's strong foundation, if you look at the sea, there are few that can match it. Some pedestrians on the street who were rushing to the Murong family were also talking about it. Not long ago, the Murong family had released news. It was said that although the people who attacked Profound Heaven City escaped, they were already besieged by 2 ancient elders of the Murong Ancient Clan and were seriously injured to the point of origin. They did not have much time left to live. Therefore, the Murong family also successfully restored the prestige of their ancient clan. As for Ghost King Zhongying and the Yun clan, Yi Wenshan and the others also successfully settled the situation. The 2 ancient clans joined forces to deal with the matter and minimize the impact. Inside the Murong family mansion. At this time, Murong Shui's face was lightly made up, and her beautiful and fragrant appearance could definitely make countless men in the world lose their minds after seeing her. But at this time, there was no happy color on her face, her expression was calm and a little cold. At this time, the door to her room was pushed open. Her father Murong Jushing and the elder Murong Bo came in. Shui, everyone has almost arrived. Are you ready? At this time, after the 2 came in, Murong Jushing asked with a faint smile on his face. At this time, Murong Shui turned around and asked directly, "Father, why did you publish that false news? Aren't you afraid that once the lie is exposed, it will cause greater losses to the family?" Murong Jushing and Murong Bo were both a little surprised at this moment. Shui, how did you know the news was false? Murong Jushing asked with a frown. It was naturally impossible for Murong Shui to tell him that she had met Dongfang Yuan. Moreover, he also has a legendary level secret realm, so it is impossible for him to be seriously injured by the 2 ancient elders of the Murong family. Besides, even if it was Murong Shui who said it, I'm afraid even Murong Jushing and the others don't understand what the legendary level secret realm is. Dad, don't worry about how I know. I know who you are, and there's no way you would come up with such a plan. But Yi Chen told you to do this. With Murong Shui's wisdom, she only suffered losses from Dongfang Yuan. She thought about the details of the matter carefully and figured it out clearly. Yi Chen was most likely the one who made the plan. She was familiar with Murong Jushing and knew that she would never come up with such an idea on her own initiative. Shui, this plan was indeed proposed by Yi Chen. The Great Elder and I have considered this. Although this is not a good strategy, it is currently the best strategy to recover the family's losses. As for the follow-up issues, Dad has already arranged it, so you don't need to worry. Marvin is a person worthy of trust. He is a gentleman. If you are with him, I believe he will never treat you badly. Murong Jushing spoke solemnly at this moment. Murong Shui sighed deeply. She knew that her father had been completely brainwashed by Yi Chen. That hypocritical villain not only deceived his father, but also deceived the world. Murong Shui also knew that it would be useless no matter what she said at this moment. At the beginning, he made it clear that he was not willing to marry Yi Chen, but once the Yi family's precious dowry came and the pressure from the elders came, he finally decided on the marriage. That's all. It seems that today, the Murong family is destined to become a joke. Murong Shui smiled helplessly in her heart. Now that things have come to this, she will take matters into her own hands. She said nothing more and just followed Murong Jushing and Murong Bo out of her dormitory. In the center of Murong Ancient Clan's mansion, there is a huge square with a radius of dozens of miles. At this time, there were many tables and chairs placed on the square, with fine wine and spirit fruits and some spirit beast meat placed on them. There are also many figures sitting on the seats around. Almost all the powerful people who were invited have taken their seats now. For example, Ghost King Zhang Ying, he and some powerful people from the Ghost King sect were sitting in the second row. Ling Juya of Donggu Sacred Land and Luo Judian of Bingyan Holy Dynasty, they are also leaders of their respective forces, sitting in the second row. Being able to sit in the second row already represents a certain strength of their force. Sitting on the left and right sides of the Ghost King were those who shared the same title with him, the Blood King, the leader of the Blood King sect, and the Evil King, the leader of the Evil King sect. The Blood King was tall and fat, with a long scar on his face. He said to the Ghost King, "Brother Ghost King, that day is coming. How are you doing with the Ghost King sect?" "No trouble. Anyway, there will be no shortage," Ghost King Zhang Ying said with a solemn expression. After hearing this, the Blood King stopped talking and nodded slightly. Basically no one around them paid attention to the conversation between the two. At this time, Murong Jushing and Murong Bo brought Murong Shui to the square. They sat directly on the main seat. There were more than a dozen long tables placed at the top. As for the people sitting on them, they were all prominent figures in the Murong family. Two ancient elders, Murong Shu and Murong Ming. There was also the second elder Murong Heng, and they were all sitting there. Murong Jushing also sat directly on the seat of the head of the family in the middle, while Murong Shui and Murong Bo sat beside him. At this time, they looked down and saw that the seats were already filled with many figures. The heads of the Yi family, Yi Wenshan, Yi Chen, and the eldest elder Yi Ming, along with the strong men of the Yi family, sat in a few seats in the first row. Looking at the forces that are qualified to sit in the front row, there are actually only 4 in total. They are the other 4 ancient clans besides the Murong family. Yi clan, Yun clan, Nangong clan, Chen clan. At this time, except for Yi Wenshan, the head of the Yi family, the other 3 heads of the ancient clan were also sitting at the bottom. Yun Qingxing, the leader of the Yun clan, Nangong Han, the leader of the Nangong clan, and Chen Zujin, the leader of the Chen clan. At this moment, in the square, apart from Yi Wenshan and Murong Jushing, the strongest people are the 3 patriarchs of the ancient clan. At this moment, after Murong Shui sat down, Yi Chen also focused his eyes on her, with a spring-like smile on his face. But his gaze made Murong Shui feel uncomfortable. Murong Shui's face was cold, her eyes were like a sharp sword piercing her, and she glanced at him. Yi Chen saw contempt and contempt on that face. HMPH. When I take you back to the Yi family, I'll see if you can still be proud. Yi Chen thought viciously in his heart. He does one thing in front of others and another behind others, which can be said to be vividly demonstrated. At this time, Murong Jushing sat on the main seat and said, "Everyone, I invite you to come today to participate in the marriage ceremony of my daughter and Yi Chen, the young master of the Yi clan. Starting from today, my daughter Murong Shui will make a marriage contract with Yi Chen, thus concluding the eternal friendship between the 2 ancient clans. They will be sincerely united for generations, and we will advance and retreat together." Murong Jushing picked up the wine glass on the table and said solemnly. Everyone in the square also raised their glasses. Yi Wenshan was seen holding a wine glass with a smile on his face. He turned to look at the crowd and said, "Today's marriage is a great joy for the sea." My son Yi Chen and the eldest daughter of the Murong family, Murong Shui, have formed a happy marriage. It is a blessing from God. I, Yi Wenshan, together with brother Juxing, would like to toast all the guests. Yi Wenshan and Murong Juxing toasted in the direction of the guests. Yun Qingxing, Ghost King, Nangong Han and others, including Murong Bo and Murong Ming, all picked up their wine glasses and wanted to drink in toast. There was only Murong Shui. At this moment, she was looking at the sky, feeling the wind speed was a bit strange, and several familiar scents were approaching quietly. She sighed inwardly. The situation was like this and she could no longer change it. At this time, Dongfang Yuan has arrived. Wait a minute. Who said that Murong Shui and Yi Chen are officially married? This emperor has never agreed. Therefore, this marriage contract does not count. Suddenly, the sky in the square was illuminated by holy light, forming colorful clouds. Dongfang Yuan's voice spread throughout the square, and everyone heard his arrogant words. At the same time, they were attracted by the clouds and looked up. I saw Dongfang Yuan's figure standing in the middle above the clouds. Next to him, Shiao Qingli and Fengxia, Medusa, Qian Xinru, Han Wanxiang, and Su Baiji stood beside him. Behind him, Wanjian Shen, Feipeng, Chonglo, Arrow God, Zuo Xuanqi, Tai Poyan and several others were there. In addition, there were 100 god-slaying guards. They stepped on the clouds and stood in midair. Dongfang Yuan put his hands behind his back and looked down below with an indifferent expression, with an air of dominion over the world. Everyone in the square, including Murong Juxing, Murong Bo, Yun Qingxing, Yi Chen and others, all focused their attention on Dongfang Yuan and the women around him. What a beautiful woman! Who is this person? There are so many stunning women accompanying me. It's such a blissful night, isn't it? Understand the situation. These people seem to have bad intentions. From what he said, it seems like he wants to destroy the marriage between Murong ancient clan and the Yi clan. These people are seeking death. They dare to destroy the marriage between two ancient clans. In the square, those martial artists from the sea area with relatively low cultivation levels in the back looked at the clouds and talked about it. There were many men on the field. Seeing that there were so many stunning beauties around Dongfang Yuan, he felt envious and jealous. Including Yi Chen. However, he has no envy, only jealousy and hatred. Murong Shui looked at Qian Xinru, and people like Su Baiji were also a little surprised. The looks of these women are not inferior to mine. At first she thought that Dongfang Yuan was only surrounded by Shiao Qingli, but she didn't expect that there were also these women. Apparently, what he said back then was indeed true. He doesn't have to do it himself. If you continue to think that you are right, it will only ruin his good impression of yourself. Presumptuous. Who are you? You dare to break into my Murong ancient clan without an invitation. Do you think you have a long life? At this time, Murong Bo, as the eldest elder of the Murong family, was the first to yell angrily. Murong Juxing frowned, and his face looked a little unsightly. He didn't expect this little episode to happen. Just when he was about to send a message to Murong Ming and Murong Bo to take action to deal with these people. Elder Murong Bo, what's the matter? Have you forgotten even this emperor? A few days ago, in Profound Heaven City, you had a fight with me. What? Is your brain memory so bad? Forgot so quickly? Dongfang Yuan had a faint smile on his face and said indifferently. Hearing this, Murong Bo was shocked, his pupils widened, and he said angrily, "It's you. How dare you show up openly and openly? How brave. Master, this person is the one who rescued the person who killed Zhang Lingan." Murong Bo immediately explained to Murong Juxing. Hearing Murong Bo's words, there was an uproar on the court. Holy crap, this man is the one behind the rescue of the Ghost King's female murderer. Yes, it's that woman. The woman in the red dress standing next to that man is the murderer of Miss Lingan. At this time, after Murong Bo said this, someone finally recognized Medusa immediately. She is the murderer of Zhang Lingan. Suddenly, Ghost King Zhang Ying, Ghost King's wife Yun Lan, and Yun Clan Chief Yun Qingxing all looked at Medusa. This is the woman. She was the one who killed my Yun'er. Brother, husband, you must kill her and avenge Yun'er. After being confirmed by others, Yun Lan pointed at Medusa with an angry expression and cried to Zhang Ying and Yun Qingxing. Zhang Ying's eyes were filled with murderous light. The hatred of killing a daughter is irreconcilable. She must make Medusa pay the price. At this time, Dongfang Yuan, who was the focus of the field, ignored the gazes of the Ghost King and others. He looked at Murong Juxing and said calmly, "Clan Chief Murong, I heard some news before. It is said that the two ancient elders of the Murong family have chased me and seriously injured me, even to the source. Time is running out. But, since it was me who was injured, how come I didn't know that I was injured before? Furthermore, according to my memory, it seems that the two ancient elders of your Murong family have never met this emperor. Then where did this serious injury begin?" When Dongfang Yuan said these words, Murong Juxing suddenly turned pale and froze in place. Murong Bo and Murong Heng, the senior leaders of the Murong family, suddenly had extremely gloomy expressions on their faces. This was false news they spread to stop losses, and now it was exposed in public by Dongfang Yuan. Isn't this just a slap in the face of their Murong ancient clan? What's the situation? According to this, is the news previously released by Murong ancient clan false? Does this need to be said? I didn't expect anyone to stand here and provoke me. I never thought that even a force like Murong ancient clan would release false news just to save face. Tisk, 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 the world is really declining, it's unexpected. There was an uproar in the square. Everyone was not a fool. After Dongfang Yuan said that, looking at the expressions of the senior members of the Murong family, they were all as gloomy and cold as if they had eaten shit. It was obvious that the lie had been exposed and his face could no longer be maintained. Murong Shui looked calm, but after seeing this scene, she still sighed. What happened was what she expected. Today was undoubtedly the most devastating day for the Murong family. I'm afraid no one would have thought that the origin of all this would be because of a mere Ghost King's daughter. Why are you still standing there? People have humiliated us, why don't you take them down? Murong Juxing's face was so dark that it was about to drip, and he was so gloomy that he shouted at Murong Ming and the others. Yes, the two ancient elders Murong Ming and Murong Shu immediately responded, and then they took action together with the great elder Murong Bo. The body releases the powerful power of Saint Emperor, condensing the Saint Emperor Law manifestation thousands of meters away, like three celestial giants. Murong ancient clan's Saint Emperor realm has taken action. Today is really an eye-opener. Be a good boy. The three Saint Emperors are attacking together. Now, these people are going to suffer. Many people in the square were watching the three Saint Emperors shot by Murong ancient clan. Ghost King Zhang Ying stared at the Medusa. Those eyes were scarlet and bloodthirsty, as if they wanted to eat her. Shuzi, there is a road to heaven but you don't take it, and there is no door to hell so you have to throw yourself into it. You dare to come to my Murong family and act recklessly today. You will definitely die. Murong ordered the three of them to stand on their respective Saint Emperor Law manifestations, standing in the sky, surrounded by Saint Realm streams of light, like thousands of falling meteors. Along with the terrifying offensive launched by the three of them, it was like a nebula blasting towards the cloud where Dongfang Yuan and the others were standing. The cultivation auras of Murong Ming and Murong Shu are truly at the 7th level of the Saint Emperor realm. Worthy of their title of Ancient Elder. The Great Elder Murong Bo is also at the 5th level of Saint Emperor realm. The three powerful Saint Emperor's attacks were superimposed together, and their power was extremely terrifying. They were like a powerful cloud containing the destruction of all things, blasting towards Dongfang Yuan. At this time, Medusa wanted to take action. However, he was stopped by Shiao Ching next to him. I come. It's been too long since I've taken action. Let's try it with them and see if my strength has declined. Although Shiao Ching was pregnant, she did not need to use her full strength to deal with these three people. Seeing this, Medusa nodded and took a step back. Shiao Ching's eyes were indifferent, her body followed her hands as she cast spells, and a magnificent 9 Nether Law manifestation appeared behind her. This is the aura of the Saint Emperor realm. This woman is so young, but she is actually a Saint Emperor level expert. Oh my god, what a terrifying aura. What is her background? Many people in the square changed their expressions after seeing Shiao Ching release his aura, and exclaimed. Saint Emperor realm 7th heaven. Shiao Ching, you actually broke through again. Murong Shui was also suddenly startled at this moment. When I met her before, Shiao Ching was only at the 1st level of the Saint Emperor realm. But at this moment, she suddenly broke through to the 7th level of the Saint Emperor realm. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, she wouldn't have believed there was such a thing. She couldn't help but look at Dongfang Yuan standing next to her. It is this mysterious man who made Xiao Qingli what he is today. Juyu Tianyan. Xiao Qingli changed the position of his hands, and saw the Juyu law manifestation condensed into a purple light, filled with extremely rich Juyu aura, and it was so terrifying that it made people feel suffocated. She blasted out that ray of light and directly faced the offensives of the 3 Saint Emperors. Boom! The sky burst into brilliant colors, and the power of the 3 Saint Emperors was shattered by the radiance of the 9 nethers in an instant. The power of brilliance directly blasted towards the law manifestation of the 3 people. That terrifying 9 nether glory is unstoppable in power. 3 Saint Emperor law manifestations were shattered and blasted through at the same instant. Puff! Murong Ming and the other 3 were all seriously injured, bleeding and almost falling into the sky. Fortunately, their strength was not too shallow and they could barely stabilize themselves in midair. But with this one blow, the difference has been made. The 3 Saint Emperor level masters of the Murong family joined forces and turned out to be no match for Xiao Qingli. At this time, countless people in the square were horrified. Among them are also the senior members of the Murong family. What the hell? Did I read that correctly? This woman. 1. The 2 ancient elders of the Murong family and the eldest elder joined forces and were seriously injured by this woman's attack. When did this strong man of the Murong family become so weak? It's not that the Murong family is weak, it's that this girl is too strong. She's too strong. At this time, almost all the eyes of the audience were focused on Xiao Qingli. Yi Chen stood there dumbfounded, and he was deeply curious in his heart. What is the origin of this woman whose appearance and temperament are not inferior to Murong Shui's, and whose strength is astonishingly powerful? With this woman here, what else does Murong Shui need? If I could train this woman for one night. Yi Chen began to fantasize about exciting things in his heart. But he also has some plans. If there is a chance, he really wants to see if there is any hope that he can win this woman. However, at this time, Yi Wenshan, Murong Juxing, Yun Qingxing and other ancient clan leaders all frowned with heavy expressions on their faces. Xiao Qingli's blow just now was completely comparable to them in terms of power. But you have to know, what state are they in? The pinnacle of the Saint Emperor realm. A Saint Emperor's 7th heaven is comparable to the Saint Emperor's 10th heaven. Where did this monster come from? The Ghost King was also frightened at this time, and the look in his pupils that was originally filled with hatred and cruelty suddenly turned into one of horror and shock. He immediately grabbed his wife tightly and held her down, fearing that she would want to avenge her daughter too much, lose her mind, and jump out to the front. Then his Ghost King sect would be embarrassed. The revenge of killing a daughter is irreconcilable and must be avenged. But the most important thing is that they have to stay alive. Yun Lan glanced at the Ghost King at this moment, and when she saw him holding her hand tightly, she whispered, "Husband, don't worry, I won't mess around. I believe you will avenge Yun'er in the future." The Ghost King gave her a comforting look, patted her hand, and said secretly, "Madam, don't worry, even in the Saint Emperor realm, I have a way to avenge Ling Yan. Don't be impatient." When Yun Lan heard what the Ghost King said, she nodded and her face calmed down. The Ghost King finally breathed a sigh of relief and followed the crowd with his eyes, looking up again. "Who are you?" Saint Emperor Realm 7th Heaven, who can possess such strength, is definitely not an unknown person. "Who are you? Why are you provoking me, Murong Ancient Clan?" Murong Juxing put his hands behind his back and asked in a cold tone. "This queen is the queen of Northern Domain Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. The reason why you, Murong Ancient Clan, are here today is that you are just following His Majesty from my dynasty." Xiao Qingli looked arrogant and cold, and said in an indifferent tone. "Northern Domain, Heavenly Evolution Dynasty." Many people present were a little confused at this moment. They knew about the Northern Domain, but it was an inconspicuous little place, and they didn't take it seriously at all. As for Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, they have never heard of it at all. In the entire field, there were only 2 people whose expressions changed when they heard the name Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. In addition to Ling Juya, the great elder of Donggu Sacred Land, there is also Tian Yi, the leader of Yunhai Holy Sect. Tianyi had received news before that a man who claimed to be the prime minister of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty broke into their Yunhai holy sect with a Saint Emperor realm powerhouse. And he also took away his Beiluo Dao fruit. Because of this, he became even more furious. Let your ancestors and great elders rush back to the sect immediately and start investigating this Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. At this time, this terrifying woman actually claimed to be the queen of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. With her level of strength, even 100 Yunhai holy sects combined wouldn't be enough for her to destroy them all. In this situation, how could he not be shocked? How can you not be afraid? And Ling Juya, needless to say, he originally planned to personally go to the northern domain to destroy the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty after the marriage ended. As a result, a queen from the Saint Emperor realm actually popped up at this moment. If she went there, wouldn't she be killed immediately? Isn't this northern domain a small place? How can there be a strong person in the Saint Emperor realm? This question was troubling Ling Juya's mind at the moment, and it was also troubling many people present. As soon as Yi Chen heard Shiao Ching say that she was the queen of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, a hint of ferocity flashed across her face. At this time, Dongfang Yuan also suddenly felt a ray of hostility inexplicably. His eyes noticed Yi Chen and locked onto the source of this hostility. Looking at Yi Chen's elegant expression, he smiled. Didn't take it seriously at all. I remember that the more famous forces in the northern domain are called Fengyan Sect and 10,000 Beasts Forest, right? But there doesn't seem to be a force called Heavenly Evolution Dynasty among them. At this time, Nangong Han, the head of the Nangong family, looked at Dongfang Yuan and had a direct conversation with him. From Shiao Qingli's mouth, they all guessed it. This Dongfang Yuan is probably the His Majesty of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, as she calls him. From the very beginning he called himself the Emperor, it was enough to explain. The Fengyan Sect and 10,000 Beasts Forest have been destroyed by this emperor long ago, and they have all turned into the dust of history. There is only one force that dominates the entire northern domain now. That is my emperor's Tianyan. Dongfang Yuan looked down at everything, despising the countless people below, and said in an arrogant tone. But now, he already has enough arrogance. After Dongfang Yuan said that the forest of 10,000 beasts was destroyed by him, there was obviously a person at the bottom whose expression changed slightly, and he stared at Dongfang Yuan with some hostility, but he immediately looked away. But even so, he was still locked by Dongfang Yuan. Dongfang Yuan was already sure in his heart that that person should be the Saint King of Futian, who was related to the ancestor of 10,000 Beasts Forest. Since it is a force from the northern domain, what is the purpose of attacking my Murong ancient clan? Today our clan is getting married to the Leaf clan. Do you, Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, want to get involved? Murong Juxing stared at Dongfang Yuan with a gloomy expression, and his tone was very unkind. The emperor has already said that I have never agreed to this marriage. As for the reason why I came today, it's very simple. At this time, Dongfang Yuan looked at Murong Shui. For a moment, Murong Juxing, Murong Bo, including Yi Chen and others, seemed to realize something and looked at Murong Shui in disbelief. Shui, are you? Before Murong Ju could finish his words, he was directly interrupted by Dongfang Yuan. Murong Shui, today is the deadline. The emperor will ask you one last time, are you willing to be my emperor's snow concubine? Dongfang Yuan asked solemnly with a serious face. The whole place suddenly became quiet for a moment. Many people looked at Murong Shui with incredulous eyes. Yi Chen, Yi Wenshan and other members of the Yi family also had completely gloomy expressions at this moment. The emperor who co-authored this Heavenly Evolution Dynasty is coming to intercept their Yi family's husband today. In front of countless powerful people in the sea, a wedding was robbed in public. If this thing succeeds, the Murong ancient clan and the Yi clan will be instantly disgraced. It has become a huge joke in maritime history. This is probably more uncomfortable than annihilating their clan. Among the 5 ancient clans, who doesn't care about the face and reputation of their own clan? If Murong Shui agreed, no one knew what kind of wonderful reaction the Murong family would have. At this time, everyone's eyes on the field were focused on Murong Shui. She became the center of attention. Shui, Murong Juxing's brows were furrowed to the bone at this moment, staring at Murong Shui closely, hesitating to speak. The atmosphere on the entire court was tense. Mirong Shui had not refused, but he had not agreed for so long. No one knew what she was thinking. Father, I tried my best. Mirong Shui took a deep look at Mirong Juxing. Then she stepped forward with determination, and under the gaze of thousands of people, her extremely beautiful figure flew above the clouds of Dongfang Yuan and the others. Mirong Shui stood next to Dongfang Yuan. Although Dongfang Yuan did not answer, her actions at this moment also represented her choice. Mirong Juxing didn't understand the meaning of Mirong Shui's words just now. He could only see that his eyes were burning with anger at this moment, staring at Dongfang Yuan and others with anger and hatred. He was full of anger, the fists in his hands were shaking uncontrollably, his face was frighteningly dark, and the temperature around him was like falling into an ice cave. Mirong Shui, are you crazy? Are you doing this to make the family lose face and be embarrassed all over the place? Mirong Ming couldn't help it anymore, he covered his chest with his hands and roared at Mirong Shui in pain. Presumptuous! If you dare to be rude to my emperor's concubine Shui, if it weren't for the fact that you are the elder of Mirong ancient clan, I would have killed you right now. Dongfang Yuan was in a good mood, and at this moment he just issued a warning, domineeringly guarding his shortcomings. Now that Mirong Shui has made a choice, his hatred towards Mirong ancient clan is not so hard to forgive. But it still depends on what kind of attitude they have today. Your Excellency, by robbing the marriage in public, not only disgraced the Mirong ancient clan, but also did not take our Yi clan seriously at all. Withstand the wrath of two ancient clans at once. I wonder if your heavenly evolution dynasty can withstand it. Yi Wenchen glared directly with a gloomy expression. This marriage is being robbed, but the marriage of his Yi clan. It's also a slap in their face. Yi Chen, Yi Ming and other powerful men of the Yi clan also had gloomy faces at this moment, staring at Dongfang Yuan and his group fiercely. Master Mirong, you really gave birth to a good daughter. It's great that our two ancient clans were completely reduced to a joke today. At this time, Yi Ming also gritted his teeth and said sarcastically towards Mirong Juxing. If it weren't for Mirong Shui, why would things be like this? Mirong Juxing's expression at this moment was very scary. His eyes slowly raised at this moment, looking at Dongfang Yuan and others. I don't care who you are. Whether it's the northern domain or the sea. Today, none of you intruders can leave. Get into formation. Mirong Juxing roared loudly, and hundreds of Mirong ancient clan's senior figures all flew up into the sky, gathered their holy light, took up positions, and surrounded Dongfang Yuan and the others. Mirong Juxing personally released his aura, and the power of the Peak Saint Emperor realm filled the entire sky. Mirong Heng, Mirong Bo, Mirong Ming, and Mirong Shu, the four Saint Emperor realms, returned to the sky, releasing the power of the Saint Emperor realm. Although three of them were injured, they would be laughed at if they were timid and retreated when faced with a powerful enemy within their own territory. After all these years, no one has dared to challenge me, Mirong ancient clan. Today I want to see who Fang Xiaoxiao is, who dares to be so rampant. At this time, an old voice suddenly came from the forbidden area behind the Mirong ancient clan, with a cold and indifferent tone. The next moment, 5 old men wearing ancient fragrant robes appeared in the sky. The auras of the 2 old men at the front were also the same as those of Mirong Juxing, who were at the pinnacle of the Saint Emperor realm. As for the next 3, like Mirong Ming and the others, they belong to the 7th level of the Saint Emperor realm. A powerful person from the Mirong family has appeared. Now there's something good to watch. After so many years, this is the first time that Mirong ancient clan has revealed their true heritage to the world. Dear me, there are more than 10 people in the Saint Emperor realm. Is this the ancient clan that dominates a sea area? Isn't this background too scary? Many people couldn't help but marveled and were shocked when they saw a dozen Mirong ancient clan powerhouses standing in the sky in the square. After all, looking at the sea area, it is hard to say whether there are powerful forces at the Saint Emperor level like Sacred Land and Holy Dynasty. Even if there are, I'm afraid there are only 1 or 2 at most, and they shouldn't be higher than the 3rd level of the Saint Emperor realm. But at this time, Mirong ancient clan had brought out so many Saint Emperor realm experts, including 3 at the top of the Saint Emperor realm alone. They are indeed worthy of being called the overlord of their sea area. The 2 people with the highest level of cultivation in the Saint Emperor realm are the Supreme Elders, Mirong Yan and Mirong Kun. As for those 3, They are Murong Khan, Murong Xiao, and Murong Li among the 5 ancient elders of the family. These people are all powerful people from the family. Most of them are in retreat on weekdays. They appeared together today. It seems that my father is determined to keep you. At this time, Murong Shui, who was standing next to Dongfang Yuan, opened his mouth to explain to her. Dongfang Yuan listened to his words and said with a smile on his face, I think if you want to leave, no one can keep you. Today, it is indeed time to see blood. At this time, Murong Shui looked troubled and hesitated to speak, but finally chose to remain silent. Dongfang Yuan saw her confusion and suddenly said, Don't worry, I don't have any big issues with your Murong family. As long as they can be sensible, I will only kill those who deserve to be killed. After Murong Shui heard this, she was a little surprised and suddenly felt warm. She only knew it after experiencing what happened before. How difficult it is to get Dongfang Yuan to say this. Thank you, Murong Shui said in a slightly less cold tone. Thank you for what? Since you are my emperor's concubine, there is no need to say thank you anymore. Dongfang Yuan grabbed Murong Shui's hand, pulled it and held it in his arms. Right in front of everyone. Murong Shui pressed against Dongfang Yuan's chest and felt the majestic and powerful hand holding her back. At this moment, it seemed that it gave her all the sense of security. Murong Shui did not resist or struggle. Instead, Ren Dongfang Yuan, who looked very calm, hugged her and calmed down. You dare to publicly humiliate me, Yi Chen, in front of countless people, you are so kind. Murong Shui, I, Yi Chen, have never suffered such humiliation in my life. You 2 adulterers, if you don't die, I, Yi Chen, will never be human again. Dad, Great Elder, you all take action together to suppress them. Seeing that the woman who was supposed to be his was now being held in the arms of another man in front of him. It would be absolutely unbearable for any man. Not only did this not treat Yi Chen as a human being, it also endlessly humiliated his dignity. Yi Chen finally jumped up at this moment, with a gloomy and angry expression, pointing at Dongfang Yuan and Murong Shui and yelling angrily. Yi Wenshan and Yi Ming were also on board at this moment. Together with Murong Juxing and others, dazzling Shengwei offensives appeared one after another. It was like the radiant holy clouds condensed in the sky, erupting with unparalleled terrifying holy power. Facing Dongfang Yuan and the others, it was a sudden bombardment like a violent storm. Dongfang Yuan looked at the attacks and bombardments from all directions with a calm expression, without any trace of panic on his face. He obviously had no intention of taking action himself. If an emperor is allowed to do everything himself, then what is the use of having such a group of people under his command? Wanjian Shen, let's do it. Dongfang Yuan said calmly. Yes, Your Majesty. The figure of Wan Sword God took 3 steps forward and stood directly at the forefront of Yangxia. Chapter 131. The house is full of drunken guests with 3,000 guests. One sword frost freezes 14 states. Wanjian Shen put his fingers together with his sword, and a white sword energy was held tightly in his hand. He raised his sword energy high and swung it around at will. An eternal sword light contains thousands of sword powers, which are powerful enough to shatter the sky and destroy the earth. The sword light is like a flood dragon rising out of the sea, attacking fiercely. It easily destroyed all the Saint Glory offensives of Murong Juxing, Yi Wenshan and others, and even knocked back more than a dozen Saint Emperor realm experts in the sky. As soon as this scene appeared, the entire square fell silent. Into deathly silence. Even the sound of a pin dropping became clear and touching. The faces of everyone in the square all looked like they had seen a ghost. Their faces were full of shock and disbelief. 2. The Supreme Realm. This person is actually a powerful person in the Supreme Realm. Yun Qingxing, the head of the Yun family, said this in disbelief, and his eyes were staring at Wan Sword God with great horror. The expressions of Yi Wenshan, Murong Juxing and others finally changed drastically. In addition to being frightened, everyone's expressions were also panicked and dignified. A strong person in the Supreme Realm. An existence above the Saint Emperor realm. How is this possible? How could there be such a character in Northern Domain? Murong Juxing, Yi Wenshan and others were extremely puzzled. They were also frozen on the spot, a little at a loss. They could feel the sword strike just now, and Wan Zhanyan held back. Otherwise, even that random sword energy would be enough to kill them all in the Saint Emperor realm here. For a moment, no one on the field dared to speak, and no one dared to do anything other than stare at the 10,000 sword gods in horror. Yi Chen was shocked and disgusted, and he couldn't understand how Dongfang Yuan's subordinates could have such a powerful person in the supreme realm. I wonder who you are, a powerful person. Today you unexpectedly came to my Murong ancient clan. The juniors are ignorant, don't be offended by your excellency. At this time, an old man appeared on the field. He looked kind-hearted, and his appearance immediately filled the eyes of Murong Juxing and others with hope. Ancestor, you're out of seclusion. Murong Juxing, Murong Yan and others said in surprise. Patriarch Murong glanced at them and motioned for them to be quiet. After cutting out the sword energy from Wanjian Shen, he felt the aura of the supreme realm. How can you still sit still? At this moment, Patriarch Murong was focusing on Wanjian Shen. He didn't know that the person leading the situation on the field was actually Dongfang Yuan behind Wanjian Shen. Your Majesty, do you want to kill all these people? At this time, Wanjian Shen suddenly asked Dongfang Yuan with great respect. When Patriarch Murong saw this scene, he set his sights on Dongfang Yuan. And if you don't know this, you will be shocked when you see it. Ancestor Murong discovered that with his cultivation in the third level of the Supreme Realm, he could not see through Dongfang Yuan at all. It was like an abyss. I stared at him with all my heart, but it seemed as if I was seen through by him. Suddenly, he felt a wave of fear in his heart. Cold sweat broke out on my back. Then he thought about it, yes. The Supreme Realm powerhouse in front of him respected this young man so much, so how could this young man's cultivation level be lower than his? At such a young age, he has actually broken through to the supreme level. I'm afraid this is not a transcendent level monster among monsters, and he will not be able to achieve enlightenment in the future. Posture of the Great Emperor. This guy can't be messed with. For a moment, Patriarch Murong already had his own unique judgment in his heart. I wonder what I call you, Your Honor. Murong Patriarch politely asked Dongfang Yuan with his fists clasped. My Emperor, Dongfang Yuan. Dongfang Yuan hugged Murong Shui and replied calmly. Good name. The East and the restoration of light represent the sun rising in the East, including the myriad manifestations. The word abyss also means profound and endless. The combination of the two means myriad manifestations, peace, which can rule the world. Emperor Yuan, you really have the posture of the great emperor. With His Majesty Yuan Huang's talent and luck, in the future he will enter immortality and break through the heavenly magic, and he will be the true destiny's son here, the true dragon emperor. Whoever dares to be an enemy of Emperor Yuan will definitely commit many injustices and will be killed. After Patriarch Murong confirmed in his heart that Dongfang Yuan was definitely a transcendent level guy, he started to praise him in all directions. Murong Juxing and the others were stunned by these words, including Yi Wenshan, Yun Qingxing, Nangong Han and others. They really couldn't believe that such licking words could come out of Patriarch Murong's mouth. As soon as Patriarch Murong finished speaking, he found that many people around him were looking at him with embarrassed eyes. He realized something was wrong, and then Dongfang Yuan suddenly said, but it is the people of your Murong family who want to be enemies with this emperor. Then if I let people kill them, and then destroy your Murong family, will it be like you said, your Murong ancient clan will die for your many unjust deeds? Hearing this, Patriarch Murong's expression changed. Immediately secretly sent a message to Murong Juxing to learn about the situation. After learning the whole story, he looked at the senior executives of Murong Juxing with a look of hatred. You guys. I have been in seclusion for so many years, and you have made the whole family a mess and a mess. It's true that there is not enough success and more than failure. Shui, it's all my ancestor's fault. It's my ancestor who has been in seclusion all year round. I didn't know that Shui had such a discerning eye and found such an outstanding husband. This is the blessing of my Murong family's millions of years of ancestral virtue. Emperor Yuan, don't worry. I make the decision regarding you and Shui. If anyone dares to object, I will kill him first. As the saying goes, seniority kills people. At this moment, Murong Juxing and the others were pointed at their heads and said this. They could not refute a word and could only lower their heads helplessly. Murong Shui also didn't expect that her ancestor could be so funny, which was really funny. It's a pity that she only knew about the ancestor's existence before and had never seen it. If she had known that her ancestor had such a personality, then she would have had nothing to worry about, she would have just gone to her ancestor directly. Look at the senior executives of the Morong family who dare not let out a single fart at this moment. In fact, things can be that simple. Thank you, ancestor. Morong Shui also spoke out at this time. Senior Morong, today is the marriage day of my son Yi Chen and Morong Shui, why do you? Yi Wenshan couldn't bear it anymore, so he said with a gloomy face and gritted teeth. But before he finished speaking, he was interrupted. You old timer, I am very old. Senior, what I hate most in my life is when others call me senior. What a bullshit marriage, who do you think the Leaf clan is? Even that old guy Yi Kaishan doesn't dare to show off in front of me, but you still dare to teach me a lesson. Who the hell are you? Patriarch Morong was scolding Yi Wenshan all over his face. Yi Wenshan was being scolded inexplicably at this time, and his face was gloomy and ugly. All the senior officials of the Yi family who came this time had extremely dark faces and looked aggrieved. This ancestor of the Morong family obviously scolded Dongfang Yuan on purpose because he wanted to lick them. It's not like Yi Wenshan has never seen him before, he even called him senior several times, but never like this before. Don't like others calling you senior. Didn't you even start drafting this excuse? Good. In this case, if the ways are different, then we can't conspire against each other. Walk. Yi Wenshan swallowed this breath. They had no choice but to endure it in shame as they were on other people's territory. He was about to leave with a group of people from the Yi family. Wait a minute, when did the emperor say that you can leave? At this time, Dongfang Yuan suddenly said. Yi Wenshan and others stopped and looked up. His tone was also a little heavy. Since your target is Morong Shui, then our Yi family withdraws and Morong Shui is given to you. Isn't that enough? Hee. For me, what do you mean by being my emperor's concubine? I ask you to come and go, do you have the qualifications? Who do you think you are? How dare you speak to me so bluntly? Dongfang Yuan's tone was slightly aggravated, as if he was a little angry, and his aura was terrifying. This was the second time Yi Wenshan heard this sentence. Once it was Patriarch Morong, and this time it was Dongfang Yuan. But at this moment, the two of them are more difficult to provoke than the other. My Yi family is also an ancient clan. The ancestor of the clan, Yi Kaishan, is also a powerful person in the Supreme Realm. If your excellency really wants to offend my Yi family, I'm so worried. Then the fish will be dead and the net will be broken. It won't be good for anyone. Yi Wenshan frowned and said cautiously. Dongfang Yuan sneered with disdain on his face. Yi clan are so confident. But it's a pity, the fish will die, but the net will not break. Dongfang Yuan glanced at Yi Chen, and then gave Wang Jianshen a look. The latter understood it, and a sword light burst out and struck directly at Yi Chenkin with a flash. Ah! Yi Chen suddenly looked up to the sky and screamed miserably. There was no time to react, and the middle of his clothes had turned into a pool of blood. His face was extremely pale, and the severe pain in his body made his soul tremble, and he knelt directly on the ground. He was wailing with fear and despair on his face. Chenur, little lord, Yi Wenshan, Yi Ming and others came to their senses, their expressions changed with shock, and they turned around to check on Yi Chen. Ah, master, the young master's lifeline is broken. The power of this sword is too powerful. The power in it has already crushed the young master's body. I'm afraid there is no hope of recovery. After checking Yi Chen's situation, several elders of the Yi family all expressed shock and disappointment. Yi Wenshan's anger was pent up and he kept holding it back. But at this moment, his son was forcibly killed in front of him. How could he possibly endure this? Asshole, Dongfang Yuan, you are bullying others too much. Yi Wenshan roared wildly at this moment, staring at Dongfang Yuan with bloodshot eyes as if he wanted to kill someone. Dongfang Yuan glanced at Yi Wenshan with an indifferent look. Just one look. Yi Wenshan's whole body suddenly stiffened, his vitality was cut off in an instant, and he fell backwards. Eyes open to death. When everyone on the scene saw this scene, they were so frightened that they couldn't help but swallow their saliva, and some of their scalps were numb. Ancestor Morong also breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, I came out in time. Otherwise, the millions of years of Morong family's foundation will be ruined in the hands of these juniors who are blinded by shit. With one look, he could directly stare to death a peak Saint Emperor. I'm afraid no other strong person at the Supreme Heaven level, the 5th level, has this ability. Dongfang Yuan's strength is really unfathomable. The other ancient clan chiefs, Nangong Han, Yun Qingxing, Chen Zujin, including the senior leaders of the Morong family. At this moment, everyone is counting on each other, and they all dare not speak. Staring an ancient clan leader to death with one look is unprecedented in the history of the entire sea area. Master. After seeing Yi Wenxin lying on the ground with a dead look on his face, the strong men of the Yi family reacted and screamed in horror. Wanjian Shen, all members of the Yi family should be wiped out. Dongfang Yuan's face was indifferent and he issued a decree in a relaxed tone. Yes, Your Majesty. Wanjian Shen took action immediately. A sword light condenses on the finger. One sword to the end of the world. Wanjian Shen locked onto everyone in the Yi family, and then cut out the sword light condensed on his fingers. The power of the sword is terrifying. The aura emanating from it made even the few who were present at the peak of the Saint Emperor realm feel frightened and their hearts tingling. If a powerful sword light from the Supreme Realm carries murderous intent, even they will not be able to catch it. Ah, I saw everyone in the Yi family being slashed by the sword light, and their bodies were instantly wiped out. The cry before death is the last sound they make in this world. Everyone who came from the Yi clan this time, including the head of the family, the great elder, and the young master, all died tragically here. After the Yi family members were completely killed, no one in the entire field dared to say a word. It all depends on what Dongfang Yuan's attitude will be next. People from Donggu Sacred Land, Yunhai Holy Sect, and Bingyan Holy Dynasty, all come forward. At this time, Dongfang Yuan started to roll call. These three forces are all forces that have a grudge against his Heavenly Evolution dynasty. Dongfang Yuan doesn't like to be sloppy. Just be direct. Let's solve it together today. Ling Juya and Tian Yi couldn't help but tremble in their hearts after hearing Dongfang Yuan's words. Are you trying to cause trouble for them? They are well aware of the grudges between the two of them in Heavenly Evolution dynasty. But Luo Judian was at a loss. He didn't know that his younger brother had already offended Dongfang Yuan to death in the name of their Bingyan Holy Dynasty. I am the Emperor of the Bingyan Holy Dynasty, Luo Judian. I wonder what happened to Emperor Yuan. Luo Judian stood up with several senior officials of the Bingyan Holy Dynasty and asked in confusion. I'm the leader of the Yunhai Holy Sect, Tian Yi. No, I wonder if His Majesty Yuanwang has any advice. Tian Yi stood up and said nervously. I am Donggu, the great elder of Sacred Land, Ling Juya. What's wrong with Emperor Yuan? Ling Juya suddenly had a plan in mind. Anyway, it was Feng Gudian who caused the incident. Although he planned to go to the northern domain to take revenge, it was a good thing that he was not coming to attend the marriage conference. If that's the case, then just pretend you don't know anything. Those who don't know are not guilty. Presumably Emperor Yuan will not kill innocent people by mistake. Right, just do it. Ha ha ha. Sure enough, ginger is still spicy. In terms of playing with the brain, how could a young person be an opponent of an experienced veteran like me? Ling Juya was still secretly happy at this moment, thinking that his idea was really a brilliant idea. However, unexpectedly, at this time, Dongfang Yuan first looked at Ling Juya and Luo Judian, and then set his sights on Tian Yi. I have sent someone to fetch a Beiluo Dao fruit from your Yunhai Holy Sect. If you want to take revenge, feel free to take action now. Dongfang Yuan said calmly to Tian Yi. His Majesty Yuan Huang is joking. Tian Yi never dare, Tian Yi said with a panic expression. Dongfang Yuan smiled. Whether you didn't dare before or now, I know better than you. That's all. My Emperor's Heavenly Evolution dynasty is not a robber either. I need that Beiluo Dao fruit, so I will give it back to you with something of sufficient value. At this moment, Wanjian Shen plundered all the storage rings belonging to everyone in the Yi family. He took out a long sword from it. It's Yi Wenxin's sword, or a holy weapon. This sword is a high-grade holy weapon. This is my Emperor's compensation for taking your Beiluo Dao fruit. Dongfang Yuan waved his hand, and the holy sword appeared in front of Tian Yi. At this moment, all the eyes of the audience were focused on Tian Yi. Tianyi looked at the holy sword in front of him at this moment and said that he must be lying if he said he didn't want to take it. This is a holy sword. High-grade holy soldier. If he could hold it, he would have the ability to challenge the Saint Emperor head-on. But after he thought about it again and again, his hand still didn't move. He wanted to pick it up, but couldn't. Please also ask His Majesty Yuanwang to take back this sword. Bai Luo Dao fruit is what I, Tianyi, willingly dedicate to His Majesty Yuan Huang. I, the Yunhai Holy Sect, have absolutely no intention of revenge. It doesn't happen now, and it won't happen in the future. If we go back on our word, everyone in our Yunhai Holy Sect will be destroyed by heaven and earth, and we will not have a good death. Tianyi directly made a poisonous oath in front of countless powerful people in the sea area. People like Yun Qingxing and Nangong Han all looked at Tianyi with admiration at this moment. The fact that he did not receive this holy sword was the main key to the survival of their Yunhai Holy Sect. The value of that high-grade holy weapon is higher than the Beiluo Dao fruit. Let me ask, if they were Dongfang Yuan, would they take a treasure worth more than Beiluo Dao fruit and exchange it in front of everyone? Definitely not. They even dared to assert that as long as Tianyi takes over this holy weapon, it will take less than 3 days. The Yunhai Holy Sect would suffer disaster. Dongfang Yuan was a little surprised to see Tianyi like this at this moment. It seems that the leader of Yunhai Holy Sect is also a smart man. If that's the case, then he can give it a chance. Master Tianyi, are you sure you don't want this holy weapon? Dongfang Yuan finally asked. Please take it back, Your Majesty Yuanwang. Tianyi was firm in his choice. Good. In this case, from now on, the Yunhai Holy Sect will become a vassal force of my Heavenly Evolution dynasty. Tianyi, are you willing? Dongfang Yuan also gave him a chance at this time. Following Heavenly Evolution dynasty, I won't say that I will be very prosperous in the future, but my power will definitely not weaken, that's for sure. Tianyi is willing. Thank you, His Majesty Yuan Huang, for your appreciation. From now on, I, the Yunhai Holy Sect, will be the vassal force of Heavenly Evolution dynasty. Everyone from the Yunhai Holy Sect, whether they are disciples or senior officials, must kneel down and worship His Majesty Emperor Yuan. Subordinate Tianyi, pay homage to His Majesty Emperor Yuan. Tianyi is also a manly man, capable of bending and stretching. At this moment, in front of countless people, to express his loyalty. He knelt down and saluted Dongfang Yuan directly on the spot. Amazing. I didn't expect that this junior member of the Yunhai Holy Sect would have such vicious eyesight. He is almost as good as me. It's a pity that these idiots like Juxing don't know how to adapt at all. They really piss me off. Principles, speaking principles in the face of absolute strength, isn't this just looking for death? Fortunately, I gave birth to a daughter to live up to my expectations. My previous compliments are not in vain. Patriarch Morong saw Tianyi being so discerning, and he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Good. Get up. Dongfang Yuan looked at Tianyi and nodded with satisfaction. Thank you, Your Majesty. Tianyi stood up and finally breathed a sigh of relief. At this time, Ling Juya was secretly happy when he saw that Tianyi was fine. It seemed that Dongfang Yuan was indeed reasonable. His heart suddenly became more certain that his plan would definitely come true. Your Majesty Yuanwang, I. Ling Juya was just mid-sentence when he suddenly saw Dongfang Yuan speaking to Feipeng. As for the people from Donggu Sacred Land and Bingyan Holy Dynasty, kill them all. Yes, Your Majesty. Feipeng came out from behind and directly locked onto Luo Judian, Ling Juya and others. Ling Juya looked confused. He hasn't even finished what he said, so at least give him a chance to reason and explain. And Luo Judian was even more confused. What did he, Bingyan Holy Dynasty, do, and why did he suddenly want to kill them? Your Majesty Yuanwang, what is going on here? I, the Bingyan Holy Dynasty, haven't done anything. Your Majesty Emperor Yuan, I am wrong. I really don't know anything about Feng Gudian. Ling Juya and Luo Judian looked as if they had lost their souls at this moment, and shouted in horror at Dongfang Yuan. Laugh. But it's too late. When they spoke, Feipeng had already pulled out his demon-suppressing sword and slashed at them with several streaks of holy light sword energy. Bang bang. Ah, only Ling Juya and Luo Judian were seen, including other senior officials from Donggu Sacred Land and Bingyan Holy Dynasty. At this moment, they were all submerged under those sword energy, and screams were heard. Their corpses split into countless blood clots and exploded on the spot. The strong and pungent smell of blood filled the air. Luo Judian didn't know until his death why Dongfang Yuan wanted to kill him. And Ling Juya was so smart that he had already thought of a way to defend himself and put all the blame on Fang Gudian. But it was a pity that Dongfang Yuan didn't even have a chance to explain to him, so he just asked Feipeng to kill them. With the death of Ling Juya and others, everyone in the square became even more nervous. At this time, Dongfang Yuan's target today is the last person. He set his sights on a middle-aged man in the fourth row. The middle-aged man was startled by Dongfang Yuan's look, and said hurriedly, "Yuan. Your Majesty Yuanwang, why are you looking at me? Floating Saint King, tell me, what does the Emperor want to do when he looks at you? Of course it's to eliminate the root cause. If I don't kill you, why don't I let you go home to celebrate the new year?" Dongfang Yuan suddenly smiled evilly at him. When Saint King Futian heard this, his expression changed instantly. He didn't say anything, and his figure turned into a ray of holy light and fled into the distance. He even sacrificed nearly 2/3 of his lifespan to increase his escape speed, making his decision extremely decisive without any hesitation. However, he was still too whimsical. With his Saint King level cultivation, let alone Dongfang Yuan and Wan Zhanwang, who were powerful in the supreme level. Even if only Saint Emperor realm powerhouses like Feipeng and others took action, he would have no chance of survival. At this moment, the arrow god locked onto the figure of Saint King in the sky, and shot a flaming arrow in the direction in which he was escaping. Call out, boom, ah, without any surprise, the floating Saint King was directly swallowed up by the flaming arrows of the arrow god, and was submerged in the flames. His figure disappeared in the sky and disappeared into ashes. After killing the Saint King of Futian, Dongfang Yuan glanced at the people below, and then ordered the people around him, "Wanjian Shen, you take people to the Yi clan and deal with them. Remember, leave no one behind." When everyone below heard this, their hearts trembled. "This is to destroy the ancient clan." "Yes, Your Majesty. I saw that Wanjian Shen had brought 50 god-slaying guards and was about to set off immediately." "Your Majesty Emperor Yuan, would you like me to take someone with you?" "Yi Kaishan, the ancestor of the Yi family, I have long disliked him. This guy is very cunning and likes to play dirty tricks. If I go with you, you can be more careful about it." At this time, Patriarch Morong also took the initiative to ask for help. Wanjian Shen was a little reluctant at this time, feeling that Patriarch Morong was underestimating his strength by saying this. However, Dongfang Yuan agreed. "That's fine, then you can go with me." "Thank you, Your Majesty Yuan Huang." I saw that Patriarch Morong was very excited and was about to set off with Wanjian Shen and the others. "No need to bother. It takes too much time to get to the Yi clan from here. I will personally take action and give you a ride." Dongfang Yuan said nothing. The next moment, the Chenkin thorn appeared in his hand, emitting an extremely dazzling spatial light and a strong spatial aura. Dongfang Yuan used the Chenkin thorn, and the space power of the Chenkin thorn directly sent Wanjian Shen and others there. The next moment, their figures disappeared from the scene. Everyone else in the square looked at this scene in shock. Before he could react, Dongfang Yuan left with the people. Morong Shui also followed him and disappeared into the sky together. After everyone in the square saw that Dongfang Yuan and the others had left, too many changes had taken place in the marriage conference. They couldn't stay any longer. "Master Morong, I'll take my leave now." Tian Yi was the first to speak. Then, before Morong Juxing could answer, he left directly. "Brother Juxing, let's take our leave now." "Master Morong, we have to leave first." "Morong family master, take your leave." For a moment, all forces in the sea area hurriedly left this place, as if they were afraid that they would be unable to leave if they were a little slower. The heads of the 3 ancient clans, the Yun clan, the Nangong clan, and the Chen clan, all left with their people. They must rush back to the clan immediately, summon all the senior officials, and hold an extremely important meeting based on what happened today. It is likely to be related to the next power structure in the sea area. Leaf clan. Boom, boom, Boom! I saw several sword energy suddenly falling from the sky above the Yi clan's island palaces, spanning thousands of miles, directly splitting the Yi clan's islands. Countless palaces collapsed in an instant, and many of the creatures of the Leaf clan were killed by the power of the sword without even reacting, and died tragically on the spot. Wan Jian-shen, holding Yi Wenshan's high-grade holy weapon, appeared above the island with Patriarch Morong and 50 god-slaying guards, his eyes locked on the palace complex of the Yi clan. Enemy attack! Enemy attack! Presumptuous! Who dares to attack our Leaf clan? Are you tired of living? Several old roars with terrifying holy power came from the forbidden area in the back mountain of the Yi clan. Under the leadership of a bald old man, the top 10 Saint Emperor realm elders of the Yi clan flew out of the forbidden area and stood opposite Wan Jian-shen and others. That bald old man is the ancestor of the Yi family, a strong man in the third level of the supreme realm, Unification. Morong Yu, what do you mean? Invade our Yi clan, destroy our Yi clan's palace, and cause the lives of our Yi family to be devastated. Do you want to start a war with the ancient clan? After Unification saw the Morong ancestor, his expression was shocked and uncertain. He didn't understand why the Morong family did this. Did he know that the younger generations of the two ancient clans were going to get married? How could it be like this? Did the marriage fail? Ah, Unification, I've been putting up with you for a long time. Ever since you let your sister deceive my feelings when you were young, I still remember this hatred. Today, you have to pay back. Ancestor Morong looked confident and said angrily. Unification frowned and shouted gloomily, Morong Yu, what are you talking about? You were the one who fell in love with Yi Zi in the first place. What does it have to do with me? Pooh, Unification, you are really an idiot. You asked your sister to deceive me into taking away my boyhood, which caused my pure yang kung fu to stagnate. Otherwise, with my talent, how could I be stuck in the third level of the supreme realm? It's all because of you, you fool. After we drank that night, I felt like something was wrong with me. How could I, who is usually such a determined person, fall for your sister? I found out later, it was you, old fool, who put aphrodisiacs in my wine and aroused my desire, and finally made a big mistake. If I hadn't been able to break through in my cultivation, how could I have endured it for so many years? Fortunately, the Emperor has paid off. I finally don't have to endure it anymore. Today is the day your Yi clan will be destroyed. Ancestor Morong showed no fear at all, and was as thick-skinned as a wall, and told all the things that happened when Unification framed him. The originally solemn expressions of everyone in the Yi family became a little more exciting at this moment. I didn't expect that there was such a history. Total nonsense. If you dare to attack our Yi clan today, then none of you will have to leave. Open the protective formation and kill the incoming enemies. Unification's face turned pale. He had no reason to argue. In anger, he directly led the Saint Emperor realm experts from the Yi clan to activate the protective formation and lined up in formation, preparing to kill Wan Zhanwang and others. Ancestor Morong was not afraid at all. In his hand, he already held a red blazing fire bead, as if he was holding a small blazing sun. This is a high-grade holy weapon. He is always ready to start a fierce battle with everyone in the Yi family. However, the next moment was beyond his expectation. Hexi comes with a sword. Kangmang Town Jojo. The god of 10,000 swords waved his sword. Behind him, a 10,000 feet tall sword god, Law Manifestation, suddenly stood in the void, exuding an unparalleled sword power around him. He raised his sword high and concentrated all his sword power on the sword's edge. The sword god Law Manifestation rotated with his power, and also followed his movements, raising the sword light. Next moment, one sword god slashed out directly, and simultaneously slashed out a peerless sword light with sword god Law Manifestation. The whole sky is trembling, the whole earth is shaking. Wherever the sword power spread, whether it was on the ground or in the palace, a vast road was opened up by the sword light. Those two silver-white sword lights were like two tsunamis of sword dragons carrying raging waves. The turbulent waves burst out of the sky, directly shattering the Leaf clan's protective formation, and passing through all the Leaf clan's strong men, including Unification. The moment the formation broke open, the expressions of Unification and others suddenly changed and they felt bad. But there was no reaction time to avoid it, and he was swallowed directly by the Stegosaurus, and he didn't even have time to scream. The next moment, after the Stegosaurus power dissipated, in the sky, Yi Kaishan and others are no longer visible. The Supreme Elder, Ancestor. Under the ruins of the Leaf Clan's dilapidated palaces, some elders and disciples of the Leaf Clan saw this scene, and they roared in despair with eyes split open. When Patriarch Morong saw this scene, he couldn't help but swallowed his saliva. Good guy, is this 10,000 sword god so powerful? He could clearly feel that the cultivation aura on Wang Jianshen's body was indeed that of the third heaven of the Supreme Realm. But his power far exceeds this realm. At least it has reached the Supreme Heaven level. Monster, kill me. No one from the Leaf Clan will be left alive. Wang Jianshen did not hesitate, and directly swung his long sword, leading 50 god-slaying guards to fly downwards, and launched a complete massacre of the Leaf Clan. Ancestor Morong did not remain in a daze and joined the massacre. The two Supreme Realm experts joined forces and swept a large area with one strike. Those members of the Leaf Clan were almost instantly killed in one encounter without any suspense. Dongfang Yuan led everyone back to the secret realm of nothingness. At this time, he carried Morong Shui directly into the door of his bedroom. Then the door closed and Morong Shui was also placed on the bed. Morong Shui's cold face looked slightly nervous at this moment. What's wrong, concubine Shui? Are you afraid of my emperor? Seeing this, Dongfang Yuan asked with a smile. Morong Shui shook her head, feeling a little embarrassed. At this moment, she was pressed by Dongfang Yuan, her body almost pressed against him, without any distance, and her heartbeat couldn't help but speed up. Then concubine Shui is not afraid of this emperor. Are you just nervous? No experience. Dongfang Yuan deliberately made a joke. Morong Shui rolled her eyes and gave it to him, and said a little arrogantly and shyly, otherwise. In my previous life, I never had such close contact with a man. Dongfang Yuan laughed loudly after hearing this, ha 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 ha. It's fine, wait until I teach you well, and you can just follow my instructions. Dongfang Yuan pushed aside Morong Shui's messy hair, revealing his delicate and cold face. From such a close distance, Dongfang Yuan looked at Morong Shui who was so alluring. He also kissed her directly on her mouth. Lips and teeth met, Morong Shui's breathing quickened and she closed her eyes. His hands slowly hung around Dongfang Yuan's neck, and he was immersed in Dongfang Yuan's kiss and sucking. 4 days later, above the sea, several shocking news came out, shocking the sea. The powerful force that dominated the sea area, the Yi clan, one of the ancient clan, was destroyed by the Heavenly Evolution dynasty and Morong ancient clan's ancestors, and Huawei's history was dusted. In addition, there are Donggu Sacred Land and Bingyan Holy Dynasty. These two forces have not escaped. Have you heard that not only the Leaf Clan was wiped out, but also the Donggu Sacred Land and the Bingyan Holy Dynasty were wiped out? The Heavenly Evolution dynasty is so terrifying. The three major forces managed to leave no one alive. Kill all the old, weak, women and children to death. The Leaf Clan was wiped out the fastest. Two Supreme Realm experts took action. There was no suspense at all. They were all instant kills. Some of those who died in the Leaf Clan died without even reacting. But the other two forces are really miserable. I heard that the Heavenly Evolution dynasty secretly cultivated two mysterious legions, one named the Blood Rain Legion and the other named the Destruction Legion. These two legions are really terrifying. According to reports from those watching the battle, as soon as the Blood Rain Legion appeared, the entire imperial city of the Frozen Cloud Holy Dynasty suddenly began to rain blood. Those in the legion were basically unkillable if they fought in the blood rain. Their bodies can even condense and regenerate all the time. As for the Legion of Destruction, each of their soldiers seemed to have thousands of divine thunders hidden in their bodies, which directly bombarded Donggu Sacred Land to the point of being unsightly. Many peaks have now been flattened, and the bodies of countless Sacred Land disciples are buried underneath. This is really terrible. It is said that the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty's General Feipeng and Chonglo are currently leading the armies of the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty and are sweeping across the inland sea. Many forces have surrendered under their command. And there are people from the Yunhai Holy Sect and Morong Ancient Clan assisting on the side. It feels like they have the idea of unifying the sea area. Then what can we do? His Majesty Yuan Huang of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty glared to death at the head of the Yi clan. This matter has been spread to everyone. Today's Heavenly Evolution dynasty is at the peak of its strength and reputation. Who dares to offend? Besides, he is very ambitious, but he also has enough strength. If Heavenly Evolution dynasty can unify the sea area, I will accept it and be convinced. Who calls others powerful? Who is it? I'm just feeling emotional. I didn't expect that the Northern Domain force would one day become the dominant force in the unified sea area. It's really unpredictable. These days, the deeds of Heavenly Evolution dynasty are spreading all over the sea, and opinions are spreading everywhere. Dongfang Yuan, on the other hand, has no ears to hear what is going on outside the window and is determined not to be a sage. 4 days, a rush. This simple and unpretentious day was abruptly turned into 4 days of Father's Day. He was also satisfied and rested in bed. At this moment, beside Dongfang Yuan, Mirong Shui looked tired and had already fallen asleep. She put on a pink tulle and changed her hairstyle. Dongfang Yuan personally tied her hair into 2 long twin tails. There were also some red marks on Mirong Shui's wrists. Dongfang Yuan was holding her sleeping hand and wanted to pull away, but accidentally woke her up. Shui, I'm going to get up. Are you still tired? After seeing Mirong Shui wake up, Dongfang Yuan touched her face and asked in a gentle tone. Mirong Shui's eyes were hazy, and she nodded with a sense of confusion, still tired. You're a big liar, you obviously only said it for 1 day. The result. Mirong Shui, who felt that her body was too tired, also grabbed Dongfang Yuan's hand and took a bite. Dongfang Yuan let her bite, and then waited for her to let go before saying, I didn't lie to you. The emperor asked Shui if you still want to be happy. Isn't it what Shui said herself? And look at my emperor's neck, what did you do to it? Dongfang Yuan pointed to the marks on his neck. It's almost 360 degrees with no blind spots. Mirong Shui looked embarrassed, her cheeks turned slightly red, and she said with some embarrassment, who knew what happiness you were talking about meant? Ha 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 ha. Then I ask you now, Shui, were you happy before? Dongfang Yuan asked ambiguously at this time. Mirong Shui was a little shy and turned her head away. Get up quickly, I want to continue sleeping. The next moment, Dongfang Yuan suddenly stood up and pinned her down. The wrists of both hands were grabbed by Dongfang Yuan. A wanton smile appeared on Dongfang Yuan's face. That's not possible now. Just now, my heart was like a sage, but Shui's charm was too great. After just chatting with you for a while, I want to have an in-depth communication with Shui again. After saying that, Dongfang Yuan kissed Mirong Shui directly on the mouth. Aha, another half day. Only then did Dongfang Yuan leave the dormitory feeling refreshed. His figure appeared in a garden in an instant. Medusa, Su Baiji, Qian Xinru, and Han Wanxiang are currently taking White Tiger and 2 Ice Spirit White Dragons to set up a wooden frame in the garden and are grilling the spirit beast. White Tiger was the first to notice Dongfang Yuan, and he immediately started babbling and dancing, looking very happy. His Majesty, I have met your Majesty. Qian Xinru and others also saluted immediately after seeing Dongfang Yuan coming. The 2 Ice Spirit White Dragons also knelt down and saluted. Okay, no need to be polite, just get up. Dongfang Yuan glanced and found that Shiao Ching was not there. But he wasn't too surprised. Shiao Ching has nothing to do now, and she can't walk around even though she is pregnant. It is estimated that he should be in retreat at this moment. She also wanted to make her cultivation recover faster. His Majesty. Looking at His Majesty's face, it seems he is satisfied. This is the first time that it lasts for several days and nights. It seems that Sister Shui is also deeply aware of His Majesty's power. At this time, Han Wanxiang, the most naughty among the group, joked. Wanxiang, don't be naughty. The Emperor is now as saintly as a sage. If this period of time passes, do you believe that I will execute you, little Lang Ti, on the spot in front of your sisters? Dongfang Yuan mocked, pretending to be a threat. Giggle, Your Majesty knows how to scare people. Wanxiang is pregnant now. Your Majesty wants to touch me, but you have to wait until this time passes. Han Wanxiang also made a grimace and smiled, confidently saying. The girls were also very happy, and they all laughed when they heard this. At this time, White Tiger waved its paws again, which meant that the meat was cooked and ready to eat. Okay, okay, eat eat eat. When it's time to enjoy it, enjoy it. When it's time to indulge, you have to indulge. Dongfang Yuan sat down and started eating with the girls. Suddenly, Dongfang Yuan seemed to think of something while eating the spiritual meat. With a wave of his hand, a bunch of large oysters that were almost similar to seaside shells, but hundreds of times larger than shells, appeared on the ground. Your Majesty, what is this kind of thing? Su Baiji asked curiously. This emperor had his men fish it out from 20,000 meters below the sea. This is a good thing. For you women, this product can beautify your skin. For men, this product can protect your kidneys and replenish your essence. It is commonly known as a gas station for men and a beauty salon for women. As Dongfang Yuan said this, he also took action and roasted those big oysters on the fire. Several people listened in confusion. They simply don't understand new words like gas stations and beauty salons. But they understand beauty and beauty care. Your Majesty, is this thing really good for beauty? Qian Xinru couldn't help but asked curiously when she saw Dongfang Yuan break open an oyster the size of his face and swallow it. Nature, why would I still lie to you? But for this thing, you have to rely on men to help you beautify your face. It's useless for you women to eat it in your stomach, it's only good for your face. Dongfang Yuan said while eating. On your face. Qian Xinru and Su Baiji didn't quite understand what it meant. At this time, White Tiger also took a big oyster and started eating it. He is curious about everything and wants to try everything. At this time, Zuo Xuanqi brought Shubai to the garden. Your Majesty, Shubai is back. Zuo Xuanqi said. Your Majesty, Shubai, pays homage. Shubai knelt down and saluted Dongfang Yuan. Get up. Dongfang Yuan waved his hand after eating the last oyster. Thank you, Your Majesty. Shubai stood up. At this time, Dongfang Yuan had eaten and drank enough, and turned around to ask, how is the investigation going? Did you find the void spirit liquid that day? Your Majesty, I have been secretly exploring the sea area for a long time, but I really can't find the whereabouts of Tianshui spiritual liquid. Please forgive me. Shubai lowered his head and said. Dongfang Yuan turned to look at Zuo Xuanqi. Where is the Yi clan's treasure house? Is it available? Zuo Xuanqi shook his head and replied, Your Majesty, the Yi clan's treasure house has also been searched, and there is no Tianshui spiritual liquid. Dongfang Yuan also frowned when he heard this answer. I didn't expect that a piece of Tianshui spiritual liquid would be so difficult to find. That's all. Fei Peng and the others are almost unifying the inland sea. Once the inland sea is unified, they will start to stir up the forces in the deep sea. When the treasure troves of several ancient clans are turned over, I don't believe they can still be found. Dongfang Yuan waved his hand and motioned for Zuo Xuanqi to go down first. Then, he used a Saint Emperor Realm cultivation card on Shubai. The cultivation level that helped him was directly promoted to the realm of Saint Emperor. Shubai was flattered and burst into tears of gratitude. I was so excited that I almost knelt down and kowtowed to Dongfang Yuan. However, Dongfang Yuan still handed over a very important secret mission to Shubai. Shubai also accepted this task. Not long after, Shubai left the Void Secret Realm and started heading towards the Ghost King sect. And in less than 3 days, a piece of news came from the deep sea. The strong men of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, leading their troops, have completely conquered all the forces in the Inland Sea and successfully unified the Inland Sea. Powerful such as Ghost King Sect, Blood King Sect, Evil King Sect and other apex-level overlords of the Inner Sea. Without even meeting him, he surrendered willingly and obeyed the rule of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty without any resistance or struggle. Stare. Congratulations to the host, Feipeng, Chonglo and others for successfully unifying the Inner Sea, and their prestige value has increased by 30,000. System. The prestige value of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty now reaches 75,320. System. Obtain a large prestige value gift pack and a prestige achievement reward mixed gift pack. They have been sent to the warehouse, please check them. At this moment, in a palace, Dongfang Yuan was sitting in his seat, explaining things to Wang Jianshen. As a result, the voice of the system sounded in my mind. Compared with the last time, this time Dongfang Yuan's face looked normal, and he had obviously been mentally prepared for it. System, open all the gift packages. Dongfang Yuan also directly opened the system in his heart. System, the gift package is opening, please wait. System, congratulations to the host, you have received X30 Unlimited Cultivation Upgrade Card, X10 Upgrade Times for all members, X1 Feipeng High Level Enhancement Card, X1 Danshan High Level Enhancement Card, X1 Chonglo High Level Enhancement Card, Wanjian Shen High Level Enhancement Card X1. Arrow God High Level Enhancement Card X1. System, all have been distributed to the host warehouse, please check carefully. As the system sounded, Dongfang Yuan also found these rewards in the warehouse of his mind. Feipeng High Level Enhancement Card. What are these? Dongfang Yuan asked with some confusion. System, host, high-level enhancement card, corresponding to the corresponding character, which can make a huge upgrade to the whole. System, now the host's cultivation level has reached the supreme level, and the remote use function has been enabled. As long as the characters summoned by the system can be upgraded remotely. After listening to the system's words, Dongfang Yuan looked happy. Remote upgrade, that's not bad. In this way, I don't have to call them together every time. System, 10 times to improve all members, and 5 character improvement cards, use them one after another. Execute immediately. Dongfang Yuan immediately ordered. He only needs to keep the 30 unlimited cultivation improvement cards. As for those that strengthen system characters and themselves, there is no need to think too much, just use as much as you can. System, using. During the period of use, Dongfang Yuan himself could feel that his own cultivation level was skyrocketing like flying. As for Wan Sword God next to him, his breakthrough speed was even more exaggerated, and his aura was rising even more fiercely than his own. Dongfang Yuan thought to himself, it must be because of the character high-level enhancement card. System, stare, finished. System, host, would you like to open the system character cultivation panel? Turn it on. Dongfang Yuan turned it on without hesitation. Dongfang Yuan has already felt the power in his body at this time, and he has directly reached the 9th heaven level of the Void Realm. It's not that far away from the realm of immortality. 10,000 sword gods, the 7th heaven of the Void Realm. Feipeng, the 1st level of the Void Realm. Chonglo, the 1st level of the Void Realm. Medusa, Supreme Realm 8th heaven. White Tiger, Supreme Realm 7th heaven. Dan Chen, the 1st level of the Void Realm. Arrow God, Supreme Realm 9th level. 100 God Slaying Guards, Peak of Saint King Realm. 100 Shadow Guards, Peak of Saint King Realm. 100 Golden Armored Guards, Peak of Saint King Realm. After looking at the system's character panel, Dongfang Yuan was shocked. I'll be a good boy. Feipeng and the others have actually ascended to the realm of nothingness. Is this character's high-level promotion card so evil? System, as long as the host works harder, there are also epic level promotion cards and super divine level promotion cards waiting for the host. System, the high-level promotion card is the most rubbish thing. Give it to dogs, and no dogs will want it. Dongfang Yuan. He felt that the system was trying to scold him in different ways, but there was nothing he could do about it at the moment. Speaking in Teacher Kang's jade voice, Dongfang Yuan really couldn't bring up any hatred. Now all the cards related to system characters have been used up. Next, he also plans to use the more than 30 unlimited cultivation improvement cards in his warehouse. System, use the unlimited cultivation level improvement card, let me and Wan Sword God use it at the same time. System, using. After spending some time, Dongfang Yuan himself also had Wanjian Shen, and each of them used 8 unlimited cultivation improvement cards. In other words, 16 were gone at once. In addition to the 4 Dongfang Yuan had accumulated before, there are now 18 unlimited cultivation improvement cards in his warehouse. But even though the 2 of them used 16 cards, he didn't feel distressed at all. Just because the 2 of them have now broken through the realm of immortality. Not only did he cross the realm of nothingness, he also crossed the realm of immortality in the middle of the realm of nothingness, and directly became a powerful person at the level of the immortal realm. Wanjian Shen is now at the 3rd level of the immortal realm, and his real combat power can rival the 5th level of the immortal realm. And Dongfang Yuan is now at the 5th level of the immortal realm, and his real combat power can rival the 8th level of the immortal realm. But if the Chenkin Thorn or the Emperor Weapon Chaos Bell is used, let alone the immortal realm, even if the fate-defying realm comes, you have to kneel down. After the two of them broke through the immortal realm, they felt that the power they had now was completely different from before. Their bloodline contains an immortal substance that is incomparable to holy power and even the power of nothingness. Immortal power, eternal immortality. Even at this level, he has begun to touch the power of space. A strong person in the immortal realm can tear apart space at will, travel within the void space, and explore the void. A strong man of this level would be no worse if placed in Zhongshengzhou. After improving his cultivation, Dongfang Yuan also summoned the arrow god and Zuo Xuanqi. I have met His Majesty. At this time, the arrow god and Zuo Xuanqi entered the hall and saluted together. Get up. The emperor called you two here because there is something I want you to do. Arrow god, go to the deep sea, kill the 9 evil moon-stepping elephant, and bring back its head. Prime Minister Zuo, you and Wan Sword God go to the Golden Dragon clan to get a drop of the Golden Dragon's blood essence. Beyond that, let them make a choice, surrender or annihilate the clan, let them choose one. As soon as the two came in, Dongfang Yuan gave the order directly without any hesitation. Yes, Your Majesty. Immediately, the 3 people in the palace took the order and left. Juxi stepped on the moon, which was the condition he promised Mirong Shui. Although Mirong Shui has not mentioned it again, Dongfang Yuan has always kept it in his heart. With the current arrow god's cultivation level in the supreme realm, 9th heaven, I believe that taking down a 9 evil moon-stepping elephant should be no different from drinking water. It can be done easily. Later, Dongfang Yuan called all the concubines in his harem into the hall. Use unlimited cultivation improvement cards for them. With the last experience, Su Baiji and even Shiao Ching accepted it normally without being too surprised. But this was actually the first time that Mirong Shuinai had seen such an improvement method. Suddenly the whole person was stunned in place. Dongfang Yuan first used the Saint Emperor Realm cultivation card to help her improve her cultivation level to the Saint Emperor Realm. Then he used unlimited cultivation improvement cards on several people except Medusa. The remaining 18 were used directly until only 4 were left. But the result is still good. Xiao Qingli's cultivation has reached the 5th level of the Supreme Realm. As for the other girls, Su Baiji, Qian Xinru, Han Wanxiang, and Mirong Shui have all been promoted to the 7th level of the Saint Emperor Realm. Mirong Shui's cultivation, coupled with the emperor-level skills she originally practiced, as well as her innate physique, etc., I am afraid that even her father is not sure of defeating her now. After helping the girls improve their cultivation, Dongfang Yuan also took the girls together in the dormitory to play catching turtles. Cloud Tribe. Today, there are only 4 ancient clans left in the sea. But the Mirong people already belong to the side of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. As for the other 3 powerful ancient clans, because now the Emperor of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty Dongfang Yuan has shown his heroic heart. The Outer Sea and the Inland Sea have been unified. Now there is only a deep sea left, and the top officials of their ancient clan are in a state of distress, to put it mildly. To put it harshly, it puts everyone in danger. Waiting for the strong men of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty to come and clear the obstacles to the unified sea area, their days can be said to be like years. At this time, above the main hall of the Yun clan, the leader of the Yun clan, Yun Qingxing, and other senior leaders of the Yun clan all gathered together. At the top, the supreme-level ancestor of the Yun clan has also left seclusion. The Yi clan was wiped out and the Mirong clan surrendered. Once such a big thing happened, once the ancestors of the other 3 ancient clans knew about it, their butts were on fire and it was impossible to shut up. How about it? What's the news from Chen Zujin? At this time, Yun Qingxing looked at the great elder of the Yun clan and asked. Because of the demon world seal at the bottom of the deep sea, once we have a large-scale conflict with the people of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, the seal may be shaken. Chen Zujin has already reported these matters to the forces in Zhongshengzhou. From his news, Zui Divine Sect has already replied to him, and has also sent people to the sea area. It will clearly prohibit Heavenly Evolution Dynasty from invading the deep sea area. The great elder of the Yun clan said at this time. It will take at least a few months for people from Zhongshan continent to get here, unless they are powerful people at the level of the immortal realm who can control the power of space. However, the powerful men at the immortal realm level are the mainstays of those forces, and it is unlikely that they will come to this place in person. In 1 month, at the speed of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, by the time the people from the Zui Divine Sect arrive, the flowers and vegetables will be cold. Yun Qingxing said with a deep frown. Now Heavenly Evolution Dynasty is sweeping across the entire sea area, and no one can stop their powerful army. Do you want them to surrender, be forced to take their pills, and be controlled by them? The senior officials of their ancient clan did not intend to consider this possibility at all. The reason why the Morong tribe willingly surrendered to the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty was because they had no way out. But there are still other ancient clan like the Yun clan. If the forces of Zhongshan continent intervene, let alone Wanjian Shen and Dongfang Yuan, it will not work. Zhongshanzhou is the core area of the entire Xuanzhou, and it is also the most developed place of martial Dao. It can be called the martial Dao sacred land. The strongest forces in that place were 1 palace, 2 sects, 3 islands and 4 sects. The 4 religions are 5 Poison Sect, Tianming Sect, Netherworld Sect, and 100 Flowers Sect. The 3 islands are Tenjin Island, Beast Island, and Black Tortoise Island. The 2 sects are the Zui Divine Sect and the Guangming Divine Sect. The first palace is the Heavenly Palace. These forces represent the ceiling of the entire Xuanzhou force. Especially Tiangong is the ruling force of Xuanzhou. It has absolute ruling influence over the entire Zhongshan continent. Otherwise, we explain the reason to Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, negotiate peacefully with them, stall for time, and wait until the people from the Zui Divine Sect arrive, and everything will be easy to talk about. An elder of the Yun clan said. Are you an idiot? Do you think the Morong clan has taken refuge in Heavenly Evolution Dynasty? Does Dongfang Yuan still know about Demon World? Their current attitude makes it clear that they want to use strong means to sweep across the sea area in a short period of time and achieve a unified goal. Another elder retorted. Aren't they afraid that if the Demon World seal is accidentally shaken, what kind of terrible disaster will it cause? The elder said anxiously. He doesn't believe that the people in Heavenly Evolution Dynasty don't have a sense of the overall situation. Once the Demon World seal is shaken, what's the use of dominating the entire sea area? The strength of Demon World is definitely not something Heavenly Evolution Dynasty can mess with. Even the Tiangong of Zhongshanzhou is deeply afraid of Demon World. At this time, there is only one way. Together with the Nangong clan and the Chen clan, our 3 major ancient clan unite to try to negotiate with the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. Let's see if the combined deterrent power of our 3 ancient clans can scare Dongfang Yuan and try to delay it for some time. At this time, Yun Qingxing, the leader of the Yun clan, thought for a while before speaking. Xing, you go to the Golden Dragon clan, tell Ao Tian about the current situation, and invite them to join our camp. The 3 major ancient clan, plus the strongest demonic beast force in the sea, the 4 forces together, see if we can talk to Dongfang Yuan, and try to delay as much time as possible. At this time, the ancestor of the Yun clan was sitting at the top, speaking to Yun Enxing, the great elder of the Yun clan. Yun Enxing nodded and accepted the order. Yes, ancestor. Deep Sea, Tianlong Sea Area. This sea area is the Deep Sea Area, a famous forbidden area for human martial artists. Just because the force that dominates this sea area is the strongest demonic beast race in the Deep Sea Area. The Golden Dragon Clan. According to rumors, the ancestor of this Golden Dragon clan was once a divine beast with pure blood, and his cultivation level once reached the quasi-emperor level. But it seems that for some reason, after his death, the entire Golden Dragon clan fell completely. His strength plummeted and he fell into the sea. Today, the strongest person in the entire Golden God Dragon race is their clan leader, Ao Tian. The cultivation level is the 4th heaven level of the Supreme Realm. But other than that, the current Golden Dragon clan is no longer in the Supreme Realm. At this time, there was a group of palaces on the sea in the Tianlong Sea, which looked extremely brilliant. In the middle of the palace complex, on top of the magnificent palace, there are several thousands of meters long golden dragon statues carved, which are lifelike and look very domineering. At this time, inside a palace, Aoshin, the leader of the Golden Divine Dragon clan, transformed into a big human man, with 2 golden dragon horns on his head and heart-protecting dragon scales on his chest, sitting upright. And next to him, there are these golden god dragon race executives who are at the pinnacle of the Saint Emperor realm, sitting next to them and discussing things with them. Clan leader, this heavenly evolution dynasty has now unified the Outer Sea and the Inner Sea. I have received news that their troops in the Inland Sea have begun to regroup and are heading towards the Deep Sea area. Then Dongfang Yuan of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty is very ambitious. He probably will never let go of the Deep Sea and has plans to unify the entire sea area. Clan leader, what should we do next? At this time, a golden divine dragon at the peak of the Saint Emperor realm spoke. This person is now the great elder of the golden god dragon race, Ao Yi. Ao Tian frowned, sitting in his seat and thinking. After thinking for a while, he said, "What's going on with the major ancient clan?" Except for the Morong clan, the other 3 clans did not make any movements and were in a state of silence. As for the Morong clan, I got news from spies not long ago. Shameless Morong Yu, along with members of the Morong family and all the powerful men, has rushed to the border of the Deep Sea area. He should be planning to join the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty's army and then start cleaning up. Ao Yi replied with a stern face. There is no movement from the 3 ancient clans, so let's just wait and see what happens. If Heavenly Evolution Dynasty wants to take action, it must deal with those human forces first. With the characters of Yun Qingxing and Chen Zujin, it is absolutely impossible for them to be willing to surrender to people from the region. Otherwise, these ancient clan would have gone to Zhongshengzhou long ago to pursue a higher realm. Ao Tian also saw through the character of Yun Qingxing and others, and said calmly at this moment. There is an old saying that it is better to be a chicken head than a phoenix tail. The patriarchs of the ancient clan all have such a personality. So when Heavenly Evolution Dynasty makes such a big move, they must be more anxious than themselves. Laugh. However, at this moment, a hole suddenly opened in the space in front of them. Zuo Xuanqi and Wang Jianshen appeared on the field. Everyone looked confused. Ao Tian himself was shocked. Be bold. Who are you? You dare to break into the palace of my golden god dragon race. Don't you want to live? After the Saint Emperor realm of the golden god dragon race reacted, they immediately straightened their faces and shouted solemnly. We are the people from Heavenly Evolution Dynasty that you talked about earlier. I am the Prime Minister of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, Zuo Xuanqi. This is the one who destroyed the Yi family, one of the famous ancient clan, and is worshipped by the god of 10,000 swords of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. Zuo Xuanqi raised his head and chest at this moment, with a proud attitude, and spoke extremely arrogantly. What, Heavenly Evolution Dynasty? Are you the god of 10,000 swords? The eyes of all the powerful men of the golden god dragon race in the temple changed, and they all felt a little shocked for a moment. I wonder what's going on when you 2 suddenly come to our golden dragon clan. Ao Tian had a bad feeling in his heart, but he still clasped his fists and asked politely. Chief Ao Tian, the truth doesn't mince words. Our Majesty, Emperor Yuan, admires the leaders of the Ao Tian clan and everyone from the golden god dragon race. Therefore, a decree was specially sent down. From today on, the golden god dragon race is a vassal force of Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. At all times, we will be ready to serve our great Majesty Yuan Huang, in front of us and behind the horse. Chief Ao Tian, how do you, the golden god dragon race, feel about this decree? Zuo Xuanqi looked proud, straightened his body, and spoke confidently. He felt so happy inside. Is this what the hell it feels like to be a villain? There is the divine weapon of 10,000 swords by his side, who is simply his old pretentious divine weapon. In front of the leader of the golden god dragon race, he was in the Saint Emperor realm, so he really had to show off. However, when the powerful men of the golden dragon clan heard this, their expressions changed. They were surprised. How could Dongfang Yuan be the first to attack their golden god dragon race? Isn't this unreasonable? But now the arrow is on the string, which is equivalent to putting them on the fire and forcing them to make a choice. If they accept this decree, then their golden god dragon race will really have to look at Dongfang Yuan's face in everything from now on. But if he doesn't accept it, Wang Jianshen coming with Zuo Xuanqi would be the best statement. What a dilemma. A real dilemma. Ao Tian's face was very heavy at this moment and he fell into deep silence. Clan leader, you can't agree. If we surrender to the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty and we die, how will we face our ancestors? Ao Yi secretly sent a message. Upon hearing this, Ao Tian's expression became firm. Right, I would rather die than surrender. I still don't believe it. In the territory of my golden god dragon race, you, a god of 10,000 swords who is also in the supreme realm, what can you do to us? Ao Tian made a decision in his heart. At worst, after he defeated the 10,000 sword gods and fled to Zhongshengzhou with his tribe, he would never be willing to surrender to the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. And just when he was about to take action, Wang Jianshen saw that he had been silent for so long and didn't want to waste time. A breath of immortality was revealed. Plop, plop. Suddenly, all the powerful men of the Golden God Dragon race, after their bodies were enveloped by this aura, the terrifying pressure caused their bodies to kneel down involuntarily. A chill went straight from the toes to the sky. Ao Tian and Ao Yi were all kneeling on the ground at this moment, their expressions were horrified, and their heads were buzzing. What turtle said that Wang Jianshen is from the Supreme Realm? Is the coercion shown on this body something that can only be found in the Supreme Realm? This is thousands of times stronger than the Supreme Realm, and they can't even resist. Ao Tian was extremely shocked. How dangerous. Fortunately, he hasn't taken action yet, so there is still room for redemption. I, the Golden Dragon Clan, are willing to surrender to the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty. From now on, Your Majesty, Emperor Yuan, will follow your lead. At this time, Ao Tian also immediately changed his mind and chose to surrender. Several other senior leaders of the Golden Dragon Clan also had no objections. Joke. The aura on Wan Sword God's body at this moment was terrifying enough to destroy heaven and earth. Just a wisp of it made their bodies kneel down involuntarily. It definitely exists above the Supreme Realm. If they dare to resist, the Golden God Dragon race will inevitably face disaster. Good. He who knows the current affairs is a hero. Let go of your souls and bodies, let the god of 10,000 swords enshrine you, and carve a mark on your souls. Zuo Xuanqi looked at the acquaintance of several people and said calmly. Afterwards, all the Golden God Dragon race executives on the field were forced to let go of their souls. One sword god's thoughts left a sword mark on all of their souls. As long as they dare to have the thought of rebellion, the sword mark left behind will be enough to destroy their souls in an instant. By the way, there's one more thing. Clan Chief Aoshan, we still need a drop of your blood essence. Zuo Xuanqi said at this time. No problem. It's just a drop of blood essence, not a ton. In addition, now that their Golden God Dragon race has all surrendered to the Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, Ao Tian naturally agreed immediately to this mere drop of blood. Ao Tian condensed a drop of blood essence from his chest and gave it to Zuo Xuanqi. After Zuo Xuanqi accepted it, he nodded and said, okay. Chief Ao Tian, since the Golden God Dragon race has now become a vassal of my Heavenly Evolution Dynasty, according to etiquette, you should also come with us to meet His Majesty Yuan Huang. I wonder if I can leave now. The words of the left Prime Minister are very reasonable. Ao Tian immediately goes with Zuo Shang to meet His Majesty Emperor Yuan. Ao Tian also responded immediately. Good. Then let's go. Zuo Xuanqi glanced at Wang Jianshen. Wang Jianshen directly opened the space with a force, and disappeared directly from the field with Ao Tian and Zuo Xuanqi. Is this the power of space? Could it be that this god of 10,000 swords is a powerful person in the immortal realm? After Wang Jianshen and the others left, the Golden God's Dragon race on the field were relieved, but they were even more shocked when they felt the methods used by Wang Jianshen before. It must be the realm of immortality. The pressure just now made even the Patriarch have to kneel down. Only those at the immortal realm level can have such terrifying power. The great elder Ao Yi took a deep breath at this moment. Their Golden God Dragon race just walked away from the gate of hell. The entire clan was almost wiped out. Is this Heavenly Evolution Dynasty really a northern domain force? Can the immortal realm be born in this northern domain? Isn't this too outrageous? The top brass of Golden God Dragon race are still a little unable to calm down at this time. How appalling. It's unprecedented for Northern Domain's local power to be able to leave the Supreme Realm. Even immortality can be achieved. This is really scary. The secret realm of nothingness. In Dongfang Yuan's bedroom. On Dongfang Yuan's bed, Shiao Ching and Marong Shui were also there. The three of them looked up at the stars. Marong Shui's face was still a little red, but being held by Dongfang Yuan at the moment gave her a sense of feminine security. Demon World. Shui, you are the saintess of the Marong tribe. You should have heard of this force. At this time, Dongfang Yuan was the first to speak. Your Majesty, you actually know Demon World. Marong Shui was a little surprised. Regarding the Demon World, only the senior officials of the major ancient clan in the entire sea area know about it. Other forces, even those powerful forces in Monster Race, are unaware of the existence of Demon World. I got the news from the Blood King sect. Dongfang Yuan said calmly. Blood King sect, how is this possible? Marong Shui felt a little incredible. You tell me the details of Demon World first, and then I will explain to you the Blood King sect. Dongfang Yuan said directly without mincing words. Shiao Ching also turned sideways at this time and listened. Demon World. The name was familiar to her, but she wasn't sure if it was the Demon World she had in mind. At this time, Marong Shui nodded and explained, Your Majesty, Demon World is actually a new world. There is a new race living inside, in Xuanzhou, called the Demon Race. Hearing this, Shiao Ching seemed to have recalled something and said directly, Demon World. Is it the Demon World I know? Marong Shui nodded, and then said, Yes, it is the Demon World you thought of. However, the Demon World entrance here is just a branch of the Demon World Shira clan, and there is no Emperor level. Hearing this, Shiao Ching's mood was like a roller coaster, and he finally breathed a sigh of relief. If it were really the entrance connecting the entire Demon World, it would really be untouchable. Shui, explain clearly, why is this Emperor so confused? Dongfang Yuan said. Your Majesty, don't be impatient. I'll speak slowly. But if you want to understand Demon World, Your Majesty, you still have to understand Extreme Heaven World first. Your Majesty, does Your Majesty know where Shiao Ching and I achieved enlightenment and proclaimed ourselves Emperor in our previous lives? Marong Shui's face became serious and she asked. Dongfang Yuan shook his head. From the system, he only knew that the two were empresses in their previous lives. As for their whereabouts in life, he had no idea at all. He didn't ask, and Shiao Ching didn't say anything either. But there was one thing he was sure of. The two of them are definitely not from Xuanzhou. The core of Xuanzhou is Zhongshanzhou. But he had never heard of the existence of the names 9 Nether Empress and Ice and Snow Empress in Zhongshanzhou. Your Majesty, both of us were born in the Imperial State, the first of the 5 major states in the heaven-level world. There are 5 continents in Extreme Heaven World, namely Imperial State, Sword State, Han State, Shadow State, and Xuanzhou. Among the 5 continents, only the last 4 are at the same level of strength. However, the Imperial State is far beyond the last 4. It is the martial Dao sacred land of the entire Extreme Heaven World. In today's era, the other 4 states no longer have a strong man of the Great Emperor level, but only the Emperor State is left, and there is even more than one. As for the Demon World, it does not belong to the 5 states. It is another world, a world completely different from the Extreme Heaven World. Marong Shui said solemnly, I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.